Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candy Man, and you already know what time it is tonight. We're drafting best ball teams, and we got a new update. I've got a special promotion going. If you are a subscriber to the channel, if you subscribe to the channel, you will get a chance to win a free entry into Best Ball Mania, a $25 value. All you have to do is be subscribed here to the channel, to the Fantasy Football Garage. And every time you comment on one of my live videos from this video forward, but also it applies to any of the previous videos, but especially this one going forward. If you comment on a live video that I've done, any of my videos, every single comment you make, one per video, per person, per subscriber, gets you an entry to a free Best Ball Mania, $25 from me personally, as soon as I hit 500 subscribers. So if you're watching this in the future, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. Come draft some best ball teams with us. We have a great community here, a lot of sharp people. We talk ball, we talk draft strategy, Dynasty, redraft. We've got it all going on. So I'll see y'all in a draft on the other side. Let's hit the intro. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like, actions speak louder than words. Let's get right into it. It's a Best Ball Mania. I got the 101. Honestly, not my favorite spot to pick from, but another chance at a Jahmyr Chase Joe Burrow team. Let's pull up the Best Ball Overlay combination tool. Shout out to Best Ball Overlay. Get 25% off your premium subscription when you use code Garage. Hit me up. Follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. You'll know when I'm going live, and you can DM me at any time. You have questions about the Best Ball Overlay, anything else, hit me up. You can tag me in teams you draft, best ball teams. I'll give you a review on Twitter for fun. And yeah, appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you slap that like button and vote in the poll. I honestly have no idea what the poll is tonight. So you tell me, because I set it up hours ago. I just got my kids down to sleep. And here we are. We're drafting best ball teams. So I'm using this combination tool. I don't have Jahmyr Chase with Ladd McConkey in Best Ball Mania. And I just updated my exposure CSV right before the stream started. There we go. Set it to Best Ball Mania. I don't have him with Ladd. I've got him 20% of the time of when I draft Jahmyr Chase. I take him with Bucky, 10% with JT, 30% with T. Higgins, 30% with McBride. I've done one with Lamar. Ladd did not make it here. I'm feeling Bucky. This is a Bucky team. I've got 2 picks, though. So I'll do Bucky first. Let me go ahead and draft him. And then I kind of want to look at my exposures with Bucky. I don't have a whole lot of McBride with Bucky, but I don't have any Hampton with Bucky. You know what? I feel like McBride. McBride is the way I want to go with this one. So let's do it. It's a Bucky Irving McBride combination with Jahmyr Chase. Let me catch up with y'all in the chat and say what up. If you're watching this, if you're new to the channel, come say what up in the chat and let's draft some best ball teams together. We've been drafting all best ball summer long, and hey, it's late August. We're peaking right now. There's a lot going on. If you haven't heard, there's a new hot rookie running back in town, and he goes by the name of Bill. So I just made that clip, and it came to me in a fever dream today. So I've been excited to whip it out. We got Bindles in here. Hola, amigos. My buddy, my friend, my co-host. Man, we had a hell of a stream and a really fun draft last night on Bindles' channel. Check it out. Links in description. We had the one, the only, Ben Gretsch from Stealing Bananas, from Stealing Signals, and just an all-around great guy in the fantasy space. He came on our Bindles channel last night, and he drafted a best ball team with us. And you already know it was mostly rookies and sophomores, but that's exactly what we like to do. It was pretty much a banger of a team. Very fun. Jaden Daniels, Deebo Samuel, kind of core team from the second half of the draft board. Really fun. Check that one out. Make sure you're subscribed to Bindle's YouTube channel. Follow him on Twitter and join his Discord. Link in his Twitter bio. Come hang out in the Discord if you have Dynasty questions, trade questions, or if you want free Dynasty ranks and tiers. Check out Bindle's Discord. We got Jeff T in here. I read this before I went live, and it literally almost made me spit take. Jeff, the funniest thing I've seen in the chat in a long time. Yo, what up? The world famous Huron River Rat, Jason Calhoun, my man. Yo, Tyler Emo. What up, Bubba? Hey, we're doing pretty good. Tuesday night, feeling good. Excited for this week. I'm going on vacation later this week. I'm going to the beach. It's my wife's birthday. We're celebrating. We're have a beach day with the kiddos, a pool day, and have some fun in the sun, touching some sand, touching some water, some grass. You know how it is. But we got to get these best ball drafts in. I've got 33 more best ball manias to go until we max. And hey, they just dropped a Pomeranian today, or was it yesterday? And we got to be ripping these palms. It was yesterday. Today they dropped the it's called, let me look it up. The pick six. Today they dropped the pick six, which is like a different, it's mini best ball. It's kind of different. It's kind of interesting. All right. With Jahmyr Chase, let's go back to my unique combos. I don't have any Ken Walker, so I think that's where we're going to start on this one. And then I'm going to pull in Joe Burrow because I'm not messing around. I'm not messing around. I only have so many more best ball manias from the 101, and I'm not going to miss out another chance to get Jahmyr Chase with Joe Burrow because of my Joe Burrow teams. I only have them with Chase 42% of the time, which is not incredible. It could be better. And then with my Jahmyr Chase teams, I only have, let's see, I only have Joe Burrow 30% of the time, right? So I've got to do better than that. Imagine in your head, you're drafting 150 teams, and you only get the 12 spot, or sorry, you only get the one spot. What is that? It would be like 12 times, 13 times. How many of those teams are you going to want to have Joe Burrow stacked up with Jahmyr Chase? Sure, you can push him to pick 72, but it's honestly, it's about a 20-30% outcome that Joe Burrow is available at pick 72, that you don't get sniped by the T. Higgins or the Chase Brown drafters, or someone just doesn't take a completely unstacked Joe Burrow. So in essence, it's not worth pushing him if you're this late in the season and you don't have enough combinations of Joe Burrow and Jahmyr Chase. And then look at the board and figure out, okay, if I took Waddle there, if I took, Egbuka going at pick 52, wow, steamed up. If I took Harvey, if I took Waddle there, what's the difference between that selection and the player I'll be able to get at pick 72? A little bit, but it's about a tier. It's about a half tier, and it's not worth pushing Joe Burrow. So this is a fun start for me. I get a double kind of running back anchor start with an elite tight end and Jahmyr Chase. Obviously, the McBride bring back in week 17 against the Bengals. Joe Burrow stacked up. So we're having some fun here. Yeah, Jeff, that was the funniest thing I've seen in a while. What up, Putt Daddy? How we doing, my man? Hope your golf season has gone well. We have one tournament left. Here we are. It's the FedEx Cup starting in 2 days. and no one can stop Scotty Scheffler. Maybe the Kentucky police, but no one else has ever stopped him, apprehended him. Hope you're doing well, Putt Daddy. Thanks for jumping in. Aaron Sandy, classic, yiggity yo. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing good. I was looking through Aaron's Dynasty team in the PPR Tyler Barbecue Dynasty Startup League, and Aaron has a pretty sick team in there. He's definitely playing a win now strategy. Alrighty, about to be back on the clock. I would have loved Golden there. I would have loved to get Golden. Probably going to double tap wide receivers. Juwan Jennings has a calf injury. That's not great. Jordan Addison is going to miss some time. Also not great. But it's kind of the two guys that I want here. So I'll take Jennings, and I think I will take Addison. Even with the injury, I just want to go for talent. For Jennings, God, I hope he's not really dealing with a severe calf injury. I hope it is more of a holdout contract situation. If Debo had been there, if Golden had been there, smash those guys. I have a whole tier starting at Pacheco. And it's funny because Connor actually went after Pacheco in this draft, which I don't commonly see. I have been seeing Hubbard fall to pick 60 just a little bit more lately. Pacheco, Pollard, Montgomery, Swift, all in a similar tier for me. I have Pacheco at the front of that, then Pollard, then Swift, Montgomery. I would have considered, maybe one of those running backs, but it would have been tough to dig myself out of the hole going with an elite tight end and a semi-elite, pretty early quarterback in Joe Burrow. So I double tapped the receiver to get Jennings and Addison, and we keep it rolling. But maybe Jennings is not full strength to start the season if this is a real calf situation. We already know, God, Addison, he's suspended 3 games. He's a bye week in week 6. He's missing 4 out of the first 6 games. That is not a recipe for advancing. That's not a recipe for success. So I'm going to have to build out this wide receiver room, but thankfully I've got Ja'Marr Chase. So anytime you have Ja'Marr Chase in your wideout room, it really can't be that bad. You just can't fall too far behind. And I think I have some names in mind in this 96, 97 range. We might get lucky. We're done with tight end and quarterback for a while. So hopefully we can get lucky on some of these wide receivers and continue to fill out this wideout room and anchor down with Irving and Walker. Feeling good. Yo, what up, Pat? My man. We got the best ball overlay up. We're feeling good. We're drafting unique combinations in Best Ball Mania. If you're like me, if you're drafting a high volume amount of best ball teams, or if you're new to best ball and you like to be able to see your exposures, your playoff week matchups, and your player combinations live as you draft, check out the bestballoverlay.com. If you want to be a premium subscriber, use code GARAGE for 25% off. And don't forget, you get access to the portfolio snapshot here. You also, for anyone who goes to bestballoverlay.com/dashboard, you can check out the latest risers and fallers. Whoa. Quinshon Judkins in the last week up 30 spots. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, a.k.a. Bill, up 25 spots. Science rules. We got fallers. It's the Chargers receivers, Jack Besh and Miles Sanders, Dust Sanders, Tajay Spears, injured, of course. Coming back up, 96, 97. The receivers I wanted are not necessarily there. Not necessarily. So I'm going to have to pivot because I was hopeful that Pittman Jr. could make it back around. Maybe Coleman, if I got really lucky. Jaden Higgins. Kelsey goes. I'm thinking, what should I do here? It's going to look funny, but I'm going Luther Burden and Cooper Kupp. because I have a team bet on Seattle with Ken Walker. Let me get some Cooper Kupp. It's right around ADP. I don't love it, but I'm definitely interested in pulling up Luther Burden. Not only does he play in Sunday Night Football in Week 17, but he plays against the San Francisco 49ers. So I picked Juwan Jennings already. I'll grab some Luther Burden. I am very bullish on Luther Burden. I have him ranked as a top 100 player. What's the difference between taking Luther Burden and Jaden Higgins in my mind? Let's see if the Bears can take a step forward with their improved offensive line, improved coaching. Caleb Williams, year 2, needs that step forward for real. I mean, he sucked last year, right? I thought about the running backs, but B-Rob is falling. My main concern for Brian Robinson is that he doesn't get traded, he doesn't get cut, and he's just has a diminished role on the Commanders. But I do want pieces of the Commanders offense. Charbonnet, not on this team. I have Ken Walker. ETN, let's pump the brakes a little bit. So logically for me, if I'm not going to take a Warren, Andrews, or Kelsey because they're already gone, then I'm going to double tap the receiver there. Yeah, what up, Anthony? Jahmyr is in the circle. Make sure you're in the circle. And what did I have today? Oh, perfect. This is perfect timing. Well, I didn't draft David Montgomery on this one, but I finally uploaded this. This is the classic 2018 David Montgomery running back Frankenstein from, like, what was it? Must have been NBC broadcast or whatever. I feel like this could apply. Like me and Bindles were talking about this all summer. I finally uploaded it. Hartman too. Me and Hartman were talking about this. I feel like this applies right now to Ja'Cory, aka Bill Krosky Merritt, more than anyone with the hype that he's getting. But I mean, what a meme! What an incredible, they broadcast this live when Montgomery was coming into the league. Incredible stuff. Let's pivot back to the draft. There he goes, JCM, BCM, 115 in this one. I'll roll the clip in a second. I'll roll it again, but I got to make this pick first because 120, 121 for me. Could I circle back to running back? Sure, I could. Receivers, I like Kirk there. I like one of Kirk or Shaheed. And then QBs, I don't think I need any of these QBs. I would pass. I mean, I could. What could I do here? I could do Caleb. Caleb is actually kind of interesting here. I think I will. I think I'll take Caleb and get it over with because I've got Burden, and then I have the built-in bring back with Juwan Jennings. I'm gonna pass on the tight ends, roll with McBride and keep it going. And then, do I want to get some Scattaboo? Do I want to get Kirk in this one? Scattaboo. I'm gonna go Scattaboo here. He's back, taking part in team drills. Let's keep hammering Scattaboo. This team, through my first 11 picks, a 2-3-5-1 build, pretty balanced. Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, Bucky Irving, Ken Walker, Cam Scattaboo. I got Jamar Chase, Juwan Jennings, first and Juwan, Jordan Addison, Luther Burden, Cooper Kupp, and Trey McBride. And in this draft, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, a.k.a. Bill, goes pick 115. Shout out to Bill. Science rules. And then I just took, who did I take with my last couple picks? I took the one and only Cam Scattaboo. Yo, what up, Tim D? Can't go wrong with the Tampa offense. That's what I'm saying. It's Bucky Irving. It's Big Mike Williams. It's Amika Egbuka. I like Rashad White late. You can tack on a Sean Tucker in the last round. Why not? Kate Otten, fine as a tight end 3 on 3 tight end builds. or if you have him stacked with Baker. I don't have a ton of Baker. He's a little bit of expensive, but he's good for fantasy. So if you can stack him up, take some Baker as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's check that out. So we can do the combo with uh we got Burrow. Let's do uh Jahmyr Chase. Would you chase with Bucky? So chase with Bucky, and then I took Joe Burrow. So I hadn't done that yet. No, I've done that on 50% of them. So and then Ken Walker though. Hadn't done that. So that was the new pick. That was the one. We're coming back up, pick 144, 145. In the last round, a bunch of wide receivers, fine, some QBs. Cam Ward gets pulled up. Only a couple, three tight ends went. Tootin. I'm back on the clock. For me, it's either Jaden Blue, Sampson, or both. If I look at ADP, it would have me take Ramondre. Not really interested. Trey Harris, no thanks. I'm going to go ahead and roll with at least Blue. And then let me figure out my wide receiver tight end situation. Tight ends, we're going to push it. Wide receiver. It's not the spot I like to take wide receivers either. Quarterback, there's no obvious pairing for me here either. So it's going to be a Dylan Sampson. I thought about bringing up Eckler there. Eckler is bound to rise with any kind of Brian Robinson trade or essentially benching because I think Bill can take over the role that Brian Robinson has, although Eckler has a little bit different role and might be actually a beneficiary of a change up in the backfield. But at the same time, you just want pieces and you want the cheaper pieces of these high powered offenses like the Commanders. So I thought about Eckler there. Maybe he comes back around. He should be rising, I think. I go ahead and get Blue and Sampson so I continue to hammer the rookie running backs after I started with Irving and Walker. I got Scattaboo, Blue, and Sampson. We're feeling good. Honestly, I need a Jaden Blue clip. But speaking of Cam Scattaboo, let's roll the Cam Scattaboo clip. Yo, what up, Joey? Aaron Sandy, you're a legend. Pat, you're the man. Jeff T, hilarious, as always. Joey says, JSN for Hampton trade. Chat, help me out. My initial reaction in any kind of dynasty league, PPR, half point PPR, 12 team, super flex, whatever it is, JSN for Hampton, yes. I'm thinking yes. But chat, help me out. Okay. So I think yes. I think yes, get rid of JSN, get Hampton, but chat, let me know what you think. I'm gonna make these next 2 picks, and then I gotta get Princess a lemonade. She woke up. Mom just called me and said, "Hey, bring Princess a lemonade." So you guys know how it goes with the 3-year-old toddlers in the house. When they want something in the middle of the night, you have to comply. 168, 169. I don't love this range for tight ends. I'm gonna pass. For running backs, I like Shipley. Let me go Wandale first. Get myself a 6 wide receiver that can get me some really, really nice targets. And then what am I missing? I could do Horton. I'm essentially doing a huge bet on the Seahawks. Let me go Shipley instead. I feel better about pulling Shipley up there. And then it's a bit much. If this team didn't have Cooper Kupp, I would have considered Horton there 100%. I think the idea about Horton, though, getting real playing time is that he has to beat out Cooper Kupp, and he's injured, and he's a rookie, and he's pretty much already beat out MVS, but they're going to play a lot of 12 personnel, a lot of 2 tight end, even 21 personnel with 2 running backs. So I think Horton just has a hard time playing a ton of snaps, although I really like the talent. It's tough. And I don't always draft Cooper Kupp, but I have him on this team. So I pushed tight end. If something's crazy, if Sam Darnold comes back around, I'll consider him for a three QB build, but probably not. Let me roll a clip, catch up with y'all in a minute. Here's some Genty hype, and then I'll be back in 30 seconds. Be back in like 10 seconds. Man, my family does not want me to win $2 million. I'll tell you that much. I'm drafting here. Lemonade at this hour? Come on. Okay. Darnold's still there. What are you guys doing with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones? I'm really curious. Fading Walker at his ADP would rather get my second or third wide receiver. Yeah, it's tough. The injury. I think so. Jeff T. I'm pretty in on Ollie Gordon. I've been drafting a lot more of him lately. I moved Ollie Gordon ahead of Wright in my rankings. I dumped Wright about around pick 200. I did pull Ollie Gordon up. I picked Will Shipley in this one, but I easily could have gotten Ollie Gordon if I thought more about it for the Tampa Bay correlation. Horton almost made it all the way back around. You guys know my anecdote about Joe Burrow and Caleb Williams. Famously, let me make this pick. I don't think I want to push tight end to my last pick, but there's also not a single tight end that I actually want. So a 2-6-6-1, I'm going to go Darnold, and then I'll go Mitchell, who I am drafting a ton of Unless no, it has to be Mitchell, right? It's Mitchell. So the whole anecdote, I've been saying it a bunch. Week 1 of 2024, if you drafted Joe Burrow, who last year we were getting him at a decent value, and you also drafted Caleb Williams, who was going pretty high last year, you would have scored 7 fantasy points from your QB position in week 1 if you had also drafted a third QB. If it was Geno Smith, you would have added 20 points, or no, 17 points to your weekly scoring. If you would have drafted Anthony Richardson, you would have added 20 points to your weekly scoring in that week alone. So just because you have a Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, doesn't mean you shouldn't tack on that third QB. It really, really increases your weekly floor scoring from the position group that scores the most points per week, the quarterback. So I keep that in mind. It's kind of funny that this team is probably my first team I've actually drafted Joe Burrow and Caleb Williams together in Best Ball Mania because I just don't draft a ton of Burrow and I don't draft hardly any Caleb Williams at his price. But it's funny that those are the two guys. Whoa, Chisholm goes in this draft in the 17th round. Incredible. I'm still looking for my second tight end. I got to avoid the week 8 bye, so that kind of limits me somewhat. Adonai Mitchell also not injured, which is a big plus for Colts receivers. Alec Pierce injured, Josh Downs injured. Not ideal. What's up with these Eagles? Devonta Smith is injured. We've got AJ Brown injured and Dallas Goedert injured. They're all injured. They're all apparently not. It's not something to worry about, but I'm starting to get worried about those Eagles pass catchers. Yeah, probably somewhat. Yep. Yo, what up, OMG? Yo, what up, Quincy? Would you rather have Judkins or Bill in 8-man PPR for pure upside? Honestly, at this point in this time, at this day, Bill, because Judkins is just not signed, and that really scares me. But I believe in the talent of Judkins. It's just he's not signed yet, and that's kind of off-putting. So I would say in that small of a league, just shoot for upside. Go with Bill for right now. And the waiver wire should be pretty deep. So you should be fine. What do you guys think? Should I take Juwan Johnson, Dalton Schultz, or Harold Fannin with my last pick? I've never taken Harold Fannin in Best Ball Mania. I take a little bit of Juwan Johnson and Dalton Schultz. I'm gonna go Juwan Johnson. I almost took Harold Fannin, but I don't know. Juwan Johnson's a little bit more proven, so but it's hard to ignore the whole Harold Fannin hype. Let me review this team. Let me catch up with y'all in the chat. Thanks for being here. Make sure you vote on the poll right now in the chat. Make sure you hit like on the stream. It would do me a huge favor and it costs y'all nothing. If we hit 30 likes, I'll rip another draft. If not, I don't know what we're going to do. We might have to talk about Chris Rodriguez, who did get drafted in the 18th round of this one. We might have to go into a deep running back dive on like what's going on in the league right now. Monangai, Rodriguez, Eli Mitchell, guys that don't always get drafted, getting drafted in this one. Ollie Gordon rising up the board. Najee Harris going 164. Incredible. But let me catch up with y'all and we'll get back into another draft soon. but we needed at least 30 likes on the stream. I'm about to check in to see where we're at. I'm also going to check the poll. I don't even know what the poll is. I set the poll like 4 hours ago. No idea what I'm asking you, but vote on that poll nonetheless, and we'll find out together what it is. So, Aaron, I don't know. What do you think? I would look at just spitballing, right? Brian Robinson is a Cowboy. His ADP is 80. So, pretty much where he's been going all summer long, essentially. It's not that different. Hey, Dirty. T's and P's for Dirty. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well, my man. You'll get through it. It's almost the weekend. It's only Tuesday night, but it's also almost the weekend and it's summertime. So, hope you have something to look forward to. I'm going on vacation this weekend. I'm going to the beach, celebrating my wife's birthday, taking my kiddos to the beach, to the pool. Gonna have some fun. That's what I'm saying, Jeff. That's what I'm saying, and kind of why I answered Joey's, kind of why I answered Quincy's question like that. It's the whole unsigned thing is pretty off-putting. Rabona, isn't it wild how they had Isaiah Bond come in and get signed within like 48 hours on the highest guaranteed contract for an undrafted rookie free agent in the history of the league, but they can't get it figured out with Judkins. Judkins needs to fire his agent and then hire the one that's representing Isaiah Bond. I'll tell you that much. Okay, interesting intel from Dirty. Yeah, Hampton over JSN. PPR closer to even, but still, I would lean Hampton as well. Hampton is a good pass catching running back, a workhorse, can get it done. I think so too. Yes, sir. So that was a question from Quincy. I could pull it up in my league. I don't know how to get there. Here it is. So this is me. Whoops. I'm trying to get to my team. There it is. Here's my team that I made this trade in. This is my oldest Dynasty league. It's from 2020, 2019. I traded to get AJ Brown and Jake Ferguson. I gave away JSN. So I'm moving off of JSN a little bit. I have JSN in another Dynasty league. Yes, sir. Essentially, and I'm rocking the plain white tee today. Thank you for noticing, Jeff. That's so kind of you. Crazy. I have too much A Rich then. I'm like 10% A Rich in Best Ball Mania, and I have like 8% across all tournaments. So I'm definitely too exposed to A Rich, but I think he does have much higher ceiling than Daniel Jones scoring wise. Oh, I freaking love Justin Thomas. Yeah, Justin Thomas is great. Besides the fact that he went to Alabama, I love Justin. I love JT. He always gives off such a good vibe, and he also is so plugged in. Like he's like he and Tiger Woods, who's like my favorite golfer of all time, have a very unique relationship where JT and Tiger, they kind of like give each other, back and forth some jabs and stuff. And even on Twitter today, JT had an interview where he was talking about his relationship with Tiger, how I think a few years ago he was walking down the 18th fairway at the FedEx Cup, and he FaceTimed Tiger, which I didn't even know you could do that while you're on the tour in the middle of a round. But he FaceTimed Tiger on the 18th fairway, being like, "Look how nice the course is. Here we are, enjoying the moment. It's the FedEx Cup. Wish you were here," because obviously Tiger's not competing. And Tiger pretends to lose connection and then calls JT back. And when JT answers, Tiger's wearing a green jacket. And so it's kind of funny. One of those things. I'm a huge fan of JT. If you got to see JT play in the new TGL, the Simulator Golf League, which I'm a huge fan of as well. He was he's an entertainer. He likes to, have fun. So yeah, long story short, big fan of JT. Always been a fan of his game. I think so too. I'm not as crazy about Theo Johnson, and I was clicking him a little bit. I have not clicked Harold Fannin Jr. in a Best Ball Mania yet. I might need to do it more than once. I think I've done it in other tournaments. Yo, what up, Prophetic? Is Achane still going to get picked at the 9 spot? I don't think so. So look, in this draft, my friend, Achane goes at the 11. And even then, I'm a little bit worried. The calf injury to me is concerning. So in my personal ranks, I've moved Achane to pick 15, which is right where Derrick Henry is essentially going, 15, 16. I moved London ahead. I have him tied with Derrick Henry. I have Puka and Bowers ahead in this draft. Josh Allen did go a little early. AJ Brown a little bit early, but nothing crazy. Josh Jacobs did get pulled up, which I'm totally cool with. Josh Jacobs is a stud. So that's how Bucky Irving fell to me at pick 24, which I appreciate. I mean, I think Achane's a great pick. I think he's worth a first-round pick. I'm honestly concerned about the calf injury. And does a bear in the ocean? I have no idea what that even means. No, they do, I believe. I mean, what kind of bear exactly? All right, I'm going to close the poll. If you haven't already voted in the poll, make sure you vote on it. Make sure you throw a like on the stream. Let me pop over to YouTube because I'm in StreamYard right now, but let me go over to YouTube and I'm going to pull out. We only have 15 likes on the stream, 32 watching. Come on, guys. I want to rip another draft. I'm going to review this team, but we have to get to at least 30 likes on the stream. Let's do 30 likes on the stream for another draft, and we'll get after it. But I'm having fun. I got like 30 Best Ball Manias left to go. There's the Pomeranian, so we could be ripping some drafts all night long. If y'all want to hop into some palms with me, let me know in the chat. But we got to get to at least 30 likes on the stream for me to keep going and drafting tonight. Let me close this poll. I have no idea what I even asked. Let me see. I said, Lamb or Gibbs was the question I asked, and it's got 16 votes. Okay, let's get more votes than that. I feel like 16 votes is not enough to get a conclusive answer. We can get more votes than that. I'm going to turn some tunes on. Let's do this. I'm going to turn on the music. Give it a second because it always goes underwater. And then I come back and that's not perfectly good. This 30 likes on the live stream and we'll rip another draft. I mean, don't you guys want to rip some palms? It's rake free. Let's do some Pomeranians. I think that'd be pretty fun. And then also vote on the poll: CeeDee Lamb or Jahmyr Gibbs. CeeDee Lamb goes at pick 2 in this one. Jahmyr Gibbs goes at pick 7, but it's closer than that. It really is closer than that. This team, it's a Joe Burrow 3672 with Caleb Williams and Sam Darnold. I've got Bucky Irving. I also have Ken Walker III, aka K9. So I've got K9, who is a pretty good pass catcher, stacked up with Darnold. I don't have any Carolina bringbacks. I also don't have any Miami pieces on this team. for my early draft capital running back. I've got Cam Scatterboot, Jaden Blue, and Dylan Sampson are my rookie running backs for some upside. I tacked on Will Shipley because why not? The Eagles are one of the best offensive lines. I want a piece of that rushing attack. If Will Shipley can get some standalone value, Saquon touched the ball quite a lot of times. I think over 350 times last season. So does Shipley get more run this season? And he has pretty nice contingent value. Why not? Jamar Chase stacked up. Jawan Jennings, a bring back for my Caleb Williams stacked Luther Burden in week 17 against Chicago. I got Jordan Addison, suspension risk. So I don't, slow start maybe, but I have Cooper Kupp stacked. Wandale to give me some targets as well. Adonai Mitchell plays Seattle in week 15, plays San Fran in week 16, and I think he's also like a ton of good camp hype and news. So hopefully a year 2 breakout for Adonai Mitchell. I got the elite tight end with Trey McBride, who is my Cardinals bring back for the week 17 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Then I threw in there Juwan Johnson, my tight end too. Doesn't hurt the fact that Juwan Johnson was on each of the last 2 winning Best Ball Mania rosters. Could this be the one? All right, I'm going to close that poll. Make sure you voted CeeDee Lamb or Jahmyr Gibbs. Got 17 votes. Not a lot of votes, I'm going to be honest with you. And it is 52% Gibbs, 47% Lamb. So still 50-50, essentially. We have yet to add a new subscriber to the channel. So if you're watching this, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Help me get to 500 subs before the start of the NFL season. Also, at the beginning of the stream, I officially announced that if you're subscribed to this channel, all you have to do to be entered to win a free Best Ball Mania entry, a $25 value, is leave a comment on any of my videos, whether it's a live stream, it could be a short, it could be a posted video. If you leave a comment starting today on any of my videos, each time you do, if you're subscribed, it's going to add you 1 entry into that raffle for a Best Ball Mania that I will give away when I hit 500 subscribers. So help me, help you. Let's do it together. Let's have some fun. Let's draft some teams. And we're at 22 likes on the stream. Let's get it to 25. We can do 25 likes on the stream. We'll rip another draft. Because I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like I could do a few drafts tonight. If you want to do a puppy, a sprint, a marathon. It looks like the Palm closed. So I'm going to catch up with y'all in the chat. I think that's what y'all are saying. Honestly surprised the Palm filled that quickly, but it's whatever. Not too surprised, actually. All right, let's see. Yo, what up, 2 Mules? How we doing, brother? Henderson went at the 2-3 turn. Wow, that's aggressive. Steve was talking up the Patriots offensive line. So maybe the Patriots are just like a breakout offense you want a piece of. Henderson, I mean, he's definitely good. That's an expensive price, but I think it's get your guy season. I think maybe if you're like underweight Henderson and you're trying to play catch up, you start to get more unique combinations with him because you're never going to get, or you're very rarely, I should say, going to get Henderson to come back around from pick 48. It's getting more and more rare as the days go on. So let's say you have Chase and you've never taken him with Henderson. Maybe that's why you're pulling him up to the 2-3 turn. Would make sense to me. Yeah. I like Lamb a lot. I like Gibbs and Lamb. If you're looking at Hill or Higgins as wide receiver 1, if you Gibbs over Lamb, feels too bad. That's also very true, Dirty. It is structurally kind of better to start with a wide receiver in the first round. I would technically agree with that. The quality of the running backs available in round 2, Taylor, Irving, Chase Brown, even usually Josh Jacobs, you could pull up Hampton, is to me better than the quality of the receivers going in that range. So I typically do like to start receiver first. All right, make sure we hit like on the stream. I did jump into another Best Ball Mania. I thought the Pomeranian was still open, but it is not. So we cannot rip palms together tonight. Maybe we can rip some puppies. I have the 5 spot in this Best Ball Mania draft. So let's see what we can get into. Yeah, Dirty P has a good point there. Had one for Lamb. Okay, 50-50 then. 50-50. It's Gibbs here for me. Gibbs or Barkley. I'm going to go Gibbs. That's Montgomery. It's Gibbs. I'm going to go Gibbs. I was just looking back at my data. We'll take a Gibbs. I don't want to I've got 5% Barkley in Best Ball Mania. I want to have 10% Gibbs. I want to have 8% Barkley. So I do need to take more of both of them. And I want to be 6 or 7% Robinson. So I need to take more Robinson as well. I went very CeeDee Lamb heavy all summer long. And pretty heavy on Jefferson too. And I think he's going to be healthy. I think he's going to be back. I hope his hamstring injury doesn't linger, doesn't re-aggravate as the season goes on. So I've been overexposed to CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson in the first round. I've been a little underexposed to Bijan Robinson and Saquon Barkley. And then Gibbs, I'm right at the field. I want to get more of some of these running backs just to continue to get, the right combinations. But like Dirty was saying, it is kind of tough to get the wide receiver you like at the end of the second round, in the middle of the second round, where Gibbs and Barkley kind of line up. I think it's a bit easier. You can get a Ladd McConkey, sometimes AJ Brown, Drake London if you get really lucky. I don't hate T. Higgins either, so I'm not afraid to pull him up. So for this one, let's just check the Best Ball Overlay combination tool real quick. I know I have some McConkey, but it looks like I need some more. So let's pull that one up. I don't have any with Jonathan Taylor. We'll leave that for another day. I'm going to get some Ladd McConkey here with my Jahmyr Gibbs. So I only have done it once. Let me look at the combination of Gibbs with McConkey. So Gibbs with McConkey and then players available. I've only done it with T-Mac, which seems... How is that possible? I guess the other player I've done it with has been drafted already. So otherwise, Gibbs with the players available, I've got him with everyone except for Lamar Jackson, which could be fun. Or Hampton could be nice too. Hampton with McConkey. Have I done that? I've done that a good amount. I don't have any Marv with McConkey. I don't have any Allen. So this just might be either a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson team. At the same time, Trey McBride seems like a pretty good value here at pick 29. I'll do some Trey McBride. I thought about going Lamar Jackson there. I have a decent amount of Lamar Jackson with McBride. I'm a little bit above the field. It's an expensive pick, but I feel like it's nice to have Gibbs, McConkey, McBride. Wow, Jaden Daniels going 31, so no chance of getting him back at pick 44. Maybe Hurts could be there. Yeah, I got either 9 or 10 of the palms in. I didn't want to do any slows. I'm done doing slow drafts, but I did not get close to the number of palms I wanted to do. It just filled super quickly. They might drop another palm tomorrow. I know Hope Bishop on Twitter, she had tweeted out kind of her schedule for dropping new contests this week. The Underdog's going to be dropping a new contest every day. They had the big eliminator over the weekend. They also dropped the Pomeranian yesterday. And then today was this new Pick 6 contest, which Jeff T calls the Nathan Peterman contest for good reason. I don't know if I'll be doing any Pick 6. If y'all in the chat are really interested, maybe we could throw it in. Maybe it'd be fun to do. But I was hopeful that we might be able to do some palms on stream tonight. The Puppy 3 is still open. I don't necessarily love that format, that tournament, but I'm open to it. Like it could still be fun. So Gibbs with Travion. I've done it a little bit. I've never done it with Brees. So I'm going Travion over Brees. I made the decision in my rankings. It's kind of just how I feel. Cook's going at pick 36. He's risen a good amount since he signed his contract. I like Henderson. Pretty bullish on Henderson. And man, I was taking Brees at the 3-4 turn earlier in the summer. I just don't love what we're hearing about his vibes, his partying, Braylon Allen taking a step forward, earning more touches. But I don't think Brees Hall should be falling like this late in like the 4th round. I think he still should go in like the middle of the 4th. But people are getting some nice values on Brees right now. The Ja'Marr Chase team does not take Joe Burrow. He pushes. He goes with Kyron. He pulls up Kyron, goes Hill. He gets the falling value on Brees Hall. He takes Metcalf. You got 50 palms in? That's sick. I'm back on the clock, and I'll catch up with you all in the chat. I did see you there. What up, Hartman? I like Harvey a lot. I need a receiver. I might do Jalen Waddle. This feels like it could be a Waddle team. I'm starting to really come around on Devo, and I just want pieces of the Commanders' offense. But I'll take Jalen Waddle there. Totally fine. Pick 53. And I mean, I needed a wideout. You don't want to see me in these pick 6 streets. Is that right? What's the strats? Give us the deets. Sharpman. Let us know what's up. Hope you're having a great night. Hartman was doing some late night streaming best ball drafts last night. I literally was falling asleep watching. I was jamming in some palms. Hartman was going live. He was ripping drafts, shit talking with the chat as always. About 10 minutes behind at any given moment. What are you gonna do? But yeah, make sure you guys check out Hartman's streams. Go to his channel, subscribe. He is definitely a best ball bro. Yeah, Jeff, it's tough. I'm pretty much starting to fade the Jets. Okay, there we go, Dirty. I see you. Yeah, it's interesting. Hard to know what to do. Yeah, Egbuka's one of my most drafted players, so I'm in a good spot. But he continues to rise. He goes to pick 58 here. He went pick 52 or 53 in the last draft. It's gonna be hard for me to get him where I've been on these parts of the board. I'm big in on Golden. I love Pacheco and Pollard. I think what I have to do here is go with Golden. Go with God. Take Golden and then push the running backs to come back around because I don't want to get too far behind at running back. Or sorry, at wide receiver. And I treat these running backs like a tier in their own. There's a chance one of the running backs I like comes back around. I hope it's not Montgomery because I have Gibbs, of course, so I'm not necessarily going to take Montgomery. But if I get lucky, one of these running backs that I really like could potentially be there. Otherwise, I might just continue to push RB, pivot back to receiver, or even tight end based on who's there. Yeah, Pacheco goes. He's the guy I wanted the most. Pollard goes. He's the guy I wanted the second most. So I'm going to pass on Montgomery. For me in this spot, it's either going to be Juwan Jennings or Sam Laporta. I have access. So Montgomery's there. I have access to Juwan Jennings or Sam Laporta. I'm going to go Jennings because obviously I have McBride. And he and Laporta, it's a little bit too much draft capital at tight end. They have the exact same bye week. I'm a little bit behind at wide receiver from taking McBride, so I end up going Jennings there at pick 77. I took him in the last draft. Let's pray that calf is okay. Bill Krosky Merritt goes pick 79. And you know what that means. Science rules. Well, I could not advise taking Bill at pick 79 in a tournament that's been open since April. But get your guys. I mean, this is a Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Bill team, plus Hubbard, plus Bowers, plus Jet. Jay Jettis. Can that work? I don't know. Maybe. I'm a little bit intimidated by the number of commanders on one given team, but at the same time, it's kind of balanced. It is kind of balanced. Jeez. And if we think Bill just takes Brian Robinson's job outright and Brian Robinson's cut or traded, maybe he should be going there. We'll see. We'll see. It's a bit extreme for me. I don't have a quarterback yet. I don't think I'm going to take one at 92. It would have to be like Knicks, or I'm going to push Murray because the drafter who took Harrison is way over there. I picked 36. So what I'll do here is I'm not going to take Brian Robinson. It's too much up in the air for him right now. That means for me, my ranks would say go to Michael Pittman or Keon Coleman. And I think I'm feeling a little bit stronger about Michael Pittman right now. With Daniel Jones being the quarterback, with Josh Downs injury, Alec Pierce injury, we were drafting Pittman in what, like the fourth round at the latest, maybe the 4-5 turn last season. So I think Pittman is still a fine pick. Yeah, what up, Paulino? How you doing, brother? Hope you're having a great Tuesday night. Thanks for being here. Disappointed Hartman with the wide receiver 3. Oh, because Golden? No. Oh, over Odunze. Odunze went before me, but no. Hartman's not out on Golden. How could you pass on RB Frankenstein? I know, I know. After I put up the graphic and I didn't even draft him, but I have Gibbs, so like that's my excuse. I definitely will take Kyler Murray here. Kyler Murray to go with my Trey McBride, and then I'm gonna start tacking on some running backs sooner than later. My team through my first 9 picks, it's a 1-2-5-1 build, a little bit wide receiver and elite tight end heavy. But I got Kyler stacked with McBride. I don't have any Cincy pieces, Houston or Atlanta yet. I got Gibbs in my first round, Hendo in the fourth, McConkey, or no, I took Hendo in the fourth. McConkey, Jalen Waddle. So that gives me 2 other late QB options. Same thing with Love. I got Golden here, Jawan Jennings, Michael Pittman Jr., who, according to Shane Steichen, Danny Dimes is the starting quarterback for this season. So Greg Branos of the Coach Speak Index, he posted that Shane Steichen has a 30% reliability rating for depth chart coach speak. So do we see Anthony Richardson starting games this year? Almost certainly. How long is Danny Dimes going to last as the starter? Who knows? I think they're both super risky. I like the ceiling play of Anthony Richardson a little bit more, but now I was under the impression that Richardson might start the season as the QB. Now I'm just kind of fading both. And it sucks because I have a ton of Alec Pierce, a ton of Adonai Mitchell. I'm not afraid to get Warren. I'm not afraid to take Downs or Pittman or even JT. Giddens late. So there's so many Colts pieces I've been drafting, and it's like the ambiguity of the QB situation. The fact that it's supposed to be Daniel Jones and he could get benched, it just makes it really tough to play that and stack it well. So I don't know what to do, but we'll figure it out. 116 coming up. Herbert for me. I think I push Godwin, Ayuk, and then running back wise, it's a big push. So I will take Herbert ahead of ADP to secure my stack with McConkey. And then, man, it is bone dry at running back. So 125, I'll have to figure out if there is a running back I like there worth drafting. If you know me, I think I know who it might be. I could just honestly grab a third QB, would be pretty savvy. Uh, no, May is gone. Purdy is gone. It would have to be Love. I don't know if he'll be there, but I would consider it for sure. Yo, what up, Kenny? Yes, sir. Drafting a Best Ball Mania. It's number 2 of the night. We're getting it going. Damn. Sorry to hear that, Putt Daddy. Just stay strong, stay true, keep drafting your teams. You never know what's gonna get canceled. So the star method can strike. Yo, what up? Ish ya boy. Okay, let me make this pick and I'll get to your question. Appreciate you being here. Let me make this pick real quick because I thought Love would be there for my pick and he's not there. So holy smokes. So I just go Godwin. People are so afraid of Godwin right now. I honestly I do have the wide receiver room built out so strong that I can float Godwin for a few weeks. Otherwise, yes, it's gonna be Godwin. That's the latest I've gotten him in a Best Ball Mania. I only have 3.5% Godwin in Best Ball Mania. And then if I go to the Best Ball Overlay Portfolio Analyzer real quick, I filter to Best Ball Manias and then I scroll down and I search for Godwin. On average, I was getting Godwin around pick 76, and I only have him 3.5% of the time. So to get him at pick 125, that's the way to do it. I have 6 wide receivers through my first 11 picks. So uh I'm definitely like I could just be done with those 6. I think the bye weeks line up just fine too. Where in week 12 I'm starting like Golden, Jennings, who should be back from the calf injury by then, Pittman, Godwin should be back by then. This could be a team where I truly do stick with 6 wide receivers. I'll have to figure out if there's anyone later I want to tack on, but like with the Cardinals, no. Cincy, probably not. Herbert, there's a lot of late backstacking Charger options, at least some Houston options, even. So maybe there. I do need to get back and grab some running backs sooner than later. So, okay, so Isha Boy was saying, how do I salvage a 101 Jahmyr, Jacobs, and Mahomes? LOL panicked in round 3. That's tough. Mahomes in round 3 is a little bit early, but what you should do is not take another quarterback. Just be done with quarterback and slam the wide receivers from here on out. You'll be just fine. You can make it work. I am going to take Jaden Blue here. Easy click. Running back 3. Pretty thin, but if I can grab like a Samson, Eckler could be kind of nice for this team too. Might be a little bit early, but I should pull him up. He should be rising, and then he kind of fits this team nicely. So otherwise, Pitts is kind of fun. I just don't even know. McCarthy's still there. Penix and Tua. I don't see the connection for anyone but Tua. And I don't really want him. I could just stop with these 2 QBs and do Kyler and Herbert. So I might do that and give myself some more selections at the flex spot between running back, which I've pushed for a long time. But if I probably will end up going 7 receivers. 2-7-7-2 kind of build would make sense. Benson's there. I don't take a lot of Benson, but this is a unique situation where I think he does make sense to go for like a Cardinals stack, and he doesn't catch passes very well, but it's past ADP, and I have these Cardinals already. So if I'm going to take more Benson, that's the way I want to do it. I want it to be correlated with my bets on the Cardinals that I've already made. I want it to be past ADP. I'll take some Benson there. I think Benson is truly more of a contingent upside play than like having standalone value, which is kind of weak. So I don't love it. But Samson was gone. I was between him and Eckler, and I had more correlation for Benson. That's how we got there. Had the 101. Yes, sir. Yeah. That's tough. Just hammer wide receivers. Hammer wide receivers. Make it a hero running back build with Josh Jacobs. Treat Mahomes as if you're taking an elite QB, and then you've got Ja'Marr Chase, so you're not that far off. Just hammer the wide receivers. It'll be good. Appreciate you jumping in here. Mitchell Tinsley. Yeah, you saw that too, Jeff. I did see that. Interesting that he has like no stats last season, but then comes on, is looking pretty decent in the preseason. Could be pushing Charlie Jones, could be pushing Andre Yoshivas for some snaps. Maybe Mitchell Tinsley is a guy. I'm not going to be drafting him yet, but push the plane, ish ya boy. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Hell yeah. Yeah, drafting early is always a benefit, always fun. I need to go back and reflect on some of those teams. Yeah, I got Godwin. Yes, sir. It's heinous in a good way, right? Like you're saying it's like heinous that he would fall that far, right? Like it's good that I got him. Help me feel good about it. I do want to go Tua here. The week 12 bye overlap, it's whatever, but it's so bad everywhere else. And I'm not going to draft Najee. Could this be the rare Nick Chubb team for me because he's like super correlated with the bets that I've made? I don't want to do it, but if he comes back around, I might have to. I honestly think Jerome Ford's a better bet. And that's the way I have it ranked. If I do take another receiver, I am gonna push it really far to see how you could go Quentin Johnston or Trey Harris pretty late these days. I think Trey Harris already got drafted, but yeah, Trey Harris went 136, but Quentin Johnston's been going super late. I've seen people post on Twitter that he was going like around pick 200. I could always get Lambert Smith with my last pick. I could take Jalen Noel with essentially my last pick for a bring back option. So I'm looking at running back here. What do you got? Oh, God, I don't want to take. I'm not taking Chubb. I'd rather take Marks later. Did Marks already go? No, Marks is still there. Yeah, I'm not taking Chubb. I'll take Jerome Ford. I'm not drafting Nick Chubb. I'm done drafting Nick Chubb. I'm not trying to lose. I'm trying to win. Jerome Ford at pick 173. I am a good amount overexposed to Jerome Ford because I was reading the tea leaves about the whole Quinshon Judkins situation. As soon as that news broke last month in July, I halted my drafting of Quinshon, who I was overexposed to. Now I'm like at the field at, and I started hammering Jerome Ford because I like Samson too, but Jerome Ford's been there, done that. He's proven. So I think he has a good shot of early season work and the pass catching work. He has the trust of the team. He knows the playbook, all those good things. I don't want to draft Nick Chubb. I'd rather take Woody Marks with my next pick for sure than to get Chubb there. We should do Ollie Gordon. I don't know if I'm going to get any Bengals on this team. Gesicki late could be something. I don't think I have any Buccaneers, right? I have Godwin. There we go. I have Godwin. Perfectly fine. This is a Best Ball Mania draft. I've got like 30 Best Ball Manias left before I max. I appreciate y'all being here on a Tuesday night, hanging out with me. Come say what up in the chat. If you're new, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you're subscribed. I've been drafting best ball teams all summer. I've done well over 600 drafts. We've done redraft. We've done high stakes. We've done dynasty startups, dynasty rookie, and a ton of best ball drafts. So come say what up in the chat. If you have any fantasy questions, draft strategy, let me know. Follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. Let's have some fun. Appreciate y'all being here on a Tuesday night. Hey, this is peak draft season. I'm loving it. Me and my brother, we co-manage a redraft team. We drafted it 2 nights ago. And at pick 155 in this ESPN, or no, technically it's a sleeper league. At pick 155, the last pick before we had to take a kicker and a defense. I don't make the rules. I don't manage this league, or I don't whatever it's called. I'm not the commissioner of this league. I don't set the rules. We took Bill Krosky Merritt at pick 155, the last skilled position player. We were drafting in the 12 spot, whatever it was. I guess it was pick 157, but we took Bill Krosky Merritt, and then he goes on the next day on Monday night. Or no, was that? Yeah, Monday night. So we drafted it on Sunday, but he goes on Monday night to hit in the playoffs and become this big thing. So in honor. There we go. Back on the clock soon. It's a 3-6-6-1 build so far. I do like Jatavian Sanders here quite a lot, actually. I think he might be worth getting. If I didn't already have the natural bring back with Herbert and Schultz, Marks, Noel. I have 2 picks left. I can't do all of it. I'm gonna go Sanders. Because then I'm done at tight end for sure. I've got McBride and Sanders. That feels very nice. But do I want to go with one more running back or one more wide receiver? Technically, a 3-7-6-2 is kind of strange. I think a 3-6-7-2 is much more common of a build and just makes sense. I feel very confident in these wide receivers. The running back room should be good enough. I think we're good there. Let's go ahead and let's take one more wide receiver. It could be honestly, it could be another tight end, but I don't think so. It would be Dalton Schultz, but I don't think so. Let me queue up some wide receivers that I really like. Noel, Washington, Whittington, Franklin, Lambert, Smith. All of these guys would make so much sense. I've already taken Lambert Smith one time in a Best Ball Mania, so I'm a little bit reluctant to do it again. I've taken one Yoshivas. I don't love him. I have not taken Zay Jones yet, but he seems like he could be wide receiver 2 for the Cardinals. I think I'm good rolling with Herbert and Benson. Let me check in with y'all. It's a good idea, Jeff. I honestly need a Jaden Blue clip, and then I need a clip for Javonte too. I think it's Noel because I want a rookie wide receiver. I have Golden, but Noel is nice. The double correlation coming on late in the season. I think it's Noel. Boom. That's fun. Nice click. Could have been Malik Washington. Could have been KLS. Could have been Zay Jones' team. Instead, I go Noel. It makes a lot of sense there. It's a fun pick in the 18th round. Yes, sir. Ishaboy. So we were talking about this draft. This is a best ball draft on Underdog Fantasy. There's no waivers. There's no trades. It is a 12-team pod from weeks 1 to 14, total scoring, and then you advance 2 out of 12 from this pod to get to week 15. In week 15, you get reseeded into a new pod of 16 people. You go 1 out of 16, and then in week 17, you go into a pod, you go 1 out of 13 in week 15. In week 16, you go in 1 out of 16 pod. So literally the hardest possible advanced structure you can get to in these large field tournaments. But then if for some strange reason you are one of the lucky 539 to make it to the finals of Best Ball Mania out of over 500,000 people, over 672,000 people, the odds are not in your favor. The odds say you'd only get to this final once every 8 years if you're lucky. If you get there, you have to beat out 538 other teams to take home a $2 million prize. And just for making it to this final, you do get $3,700. So that's the price of a max entry, which is 150 entries, max entries into this tournament at $25 each. This is Best Ball Mania 6, and The goal, the dream is to ship this tournament to build a team that can compete. I hope we did it here. Let's review this. Let's review this team. Let me throw the music back on. I'm gonna check the likes. If we got to 30 likes, I might roll another draft. If not, we'll see. You guys subscribe to the channel. I draft best ball teams live on stream almost every night. I put out shorts around draft strategy, player takes, things like that, fun stuff. And then follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. I like to retweet other great content in the fantasy space, my friends in the community, in the best ball community, and the content they're putting out. And we like to have fun, and you'll know when I'm going live. That's the main thing. So turn notifications on here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. Subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers before the start of the NFL season. And when I do, I'm giving away $25, aka one free entry into Best Ball Mania to someone who is not only a subscriber to the channel, but every time you comment on a video that I've published, starting today, but any comment from now until I hit 500 subscribers, you can do one per video, but you can comment on any of my videos, any of my past live streams, anything. Each one will give you an entry into a raffle for $25, a free Best Ball Mania entry when I hit 500 subs. So help me help you. Subscribe to the channel. Let's have some fun. Let's draft some teams. Whoo! Last night on stream, me and my co-host Bindles, we drafted a Best Ball Mania with Ben Gretsch of Stealing Signals and Stealing Bananas, Rotoviz podcast. Make sure you check that one out. Go to Bindles' channel. Links to his socials are in the description below. Super fun time, super fun stream. If you haven't already seen it, go over there right now. Throw a like on that stream. Comment that, whatever you want. But if I can influence you, comment and just say like, wow, great team, fun draft, great guest. Let's bump up those numbers for Bindle's stream. And we had a great time with Gretsch. We're going to do it again in the future. So appreciate y'all for watching and doing all that. Let's review this team. And hey, if we get to 30 likes on this stream, I'm about to check in. We'll do another draft. So stay tuned. It's hot best ball summer, and we're getting after it. We're drafting best ball teams, talking football draft strategy. You know where to find it. Come on now. We have a really sharp community here. A lot of guys in the chat they're maniacs. They're simply degenerates. They're best ball virgins, as we like to call them. They're fantasy football sickos, and I love them. So appreciate y'all being here with me on a Tuesday night. We're having fun. We're having a lot of good times. I need to catch up. Oh, 2 mules. I mean, I'm not a player take guy. I'm more of a structural drafter kind of guy. But you could not pay me to draft Dust Williams in the year 2025. Last year he played for the Denver Broncos, one of the best offensive lines, one of the best offenses in the league. And Williams, he was dust. They got rid of him. And now he's going to the Cowboys. They have a worse offensive line. They're going to pass more. And he's competing with Jaden Blue, the electric rookie out of Texas, who's a big play waiting to happen. I think Javonte does get between 8 and 10 touches per game, but I don't think he's gonna put up a whole lot of yards, and I don't think he's gonna put up a whole lot of touchdowns. But I'm not a player take guy. I'm more of a structural build kind of guy. I do like the Dallas Cowboys offense, so I'm taking guys like Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, a little bit of Jake Ferguson, a lot of Blue, a lot of Dak. No way. That's so funny, Play Daddy. I thought about it. I did think about it, Jeff T. Trey Harris or Keenan Allen straight up. Great question from Sharpman. Sorry I missed it 14 minutes ago. Let me go to my Chargers exposure. So I currently have Keenan Allen 141 and Trey Harris 151. I need to move Trey Harris back up. You know what I did was I was like preemptively moving Trey Harris ADP downward so that I wasn't like overdrafting him, because I'm at the field with Trey Harris. So like I'm decently exposed. And then same thing for Quentin Johnston. I moved him to 165 and he's fallen all the way to 178. So I need to bump Quentin Johnston down even further. I need to move Trey Harris back up a little bit. I need to move Keenan Allen back up a little bit if I want to draft him at all. But I drafted a decent amount of Keenan Allen before he signed. So like I'm not really super interested in him at his current price, if that makes sense. I think that's pretty sharp. I like that. I've got about half that much forward, but I think it makes sense. I should have taken him, right? I should have taken him. Yeah, Lambert Smith. Yo, what up, J-Lup? This is a best ball mania. I was thinking about ripping some palms, but it closed. So I've done 2 best ball manias tonight. If we get to 30 likes in the stream, I'll rip another draft. I'm about to check in to see where we're at. So if you're watching this live right now, make sure you hit like on the stream. Let's keep it going. Let's rip some more drafts together. Let's have some fun. Do it for your boy. Help me out. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. A quick click of the button. Hit the like and be subscribed as well. Yeah. That's hilarious, 2 mules. McMillan could come back for the end of the season. I have 5.1% McMillan. I feel like I'm surprised I have that much, but the tight end for the Chargers is such a toss-up. I was drafting Conklin for a while, and I kind of backed off that because Dissly was looking good. But I have 4% Conklin, 1% Gadsden, and then no Dissly. I actually was taking Dissly. I guess it was the other tournaments like the big board and things, and that must have been before Conklin signed, because I know I was drafting Dissly in the summer, but I'm kind of just avoiding the Chargers tight end position because I think it's going to be split up, 3-headed monster. But Gadsden's fun. Yo, Who Hames, what's up, brother? How we doing? Hope you're having a great night, Who Hames. Thanks for jumping in here. Who Hames was live earlier today, ripping some drafts per usual. Make sure you guys subscribe to the man, Who Hames. Check out his channel. It's so funny. I'm trying to get over there. I didn't draft. I didn't take advantage of the promo for drafters over the weekend. I was just too busy. So, like, it's just one of those things. I'll get there eventually, but I can't do it right now. Yeah, 15% Javonte and 0% Blue. I mean, what year is it? Are you drafting in 2025 or are you drafting in 2023? That's all I have to say. But I'm trying to move forward. Javonte was never the same after the knee injury. I'm not a big player take guy. But for me, for the Cowboys, this is how I have it ranked. CeeDee Lamb 3, Pickens 44, Prescott 97. So I'm ahead of ADP on Prescott, about at the field with the other 2. I've got Blue at 124, ahead of ADP by 20 spots. So I've got 22% Blue. I got Ferg finally ahead of ADP. I'll take a little bit of him. I drafted more than none Javonte, but that was at different points in the season. So I've moved him back to rank 192, about 60 spots past ADP. And then you have Turpin. I have Miles Sanders ranked 50 spots past ADP. I've drafted more than none of him, but I don't think I'll be drafting Javonte Williams or Miles Sanders the rest of the year. Surprisingly, I had like a bunch of Tolbert, but that was before Pickens signed. So then I've tanked his ADP as well, or his rank. I don't get excited about 150-pound special teamers who are gadget guys and are 28 years old. I'd rather have much more Pickens or Jaden Blue, who I think are breakout difference makers. If Turpin is what you need to win Best Ball Mania, come on. I mean, it's simple. The Cowboys are going to pass a lot. Jaden Blue caught the most receiving touchdowns of any running back in the entire college football season last year. If you didn't watch his game against Ohio State, if you didn't watch his game against Arizona State, I don't know what to say. The dude's explosive. He can score touchdowns. He had 14 total touchdowns last season. It's pretty obvious to me. Yeah, it's. I liked Javonte when he was pre-injury, and then since then, I mean, he just could not get it done with the Broncos' offensive line last year. That's pretty damning for me. So, yeah, rested. He's an old, small special teamer. I'd rather win with Pickens or CeeDee Lamb. I just feel like if Turpin's hitting your lineup, something's going horribly wrong. Maybe he's flexing in for 1 week in the playoffs, but like, is he going to consistently score? That means Dak Prescott is like dead, or George Pickens is not catching passes. So I have a hard time seeing Turpin just getting there consistently. I think maybe he could pay off like 1 week, but I'm really looking for guys that can carry and score consistently. So I don't know. To me, I think I've taken some Turpin. No, not in Best Ball Mania. So in other tournaments, I've taken a little bit of them, but hard for me to get there. I can't get there, Hames. It's like, oh, what did I do? Oop, let me get this. I've seen the highlights. I've seen the plays. I've seen, Turpin. He's fast. He's not as fast as Jaden Blue, but he's fast. He's small. He's 50 pounds less than Jaden Blue and a couple inches shorter. He's also 7 years older. So he's super old, super small. Went to TCU. Go Horned Frogs. Never had more than 31 receptions. His air yards always more than his receiving yards, so he's not producing any yards after he catches the ball. Touchdowns are fluky, far in between. He did have 12 explosive plays in 17 games, so I'll give him that. That's not the worst ratio I've ever seen. He has nothing that would suggest, except for his route win rate. He's number 11 in route win rate, although his routes 119th in routes run, and they just got George Pickens, so like his opportunity is not going to get bigger. Jalen Tolbert still there. 108th in route participation. Like, this guy is not worth drafting. I'd rather have Jalen Tolbert. I don't think so. He doesn't play route. He plays kick return, punt return. He gets carries, but he's a gadget guy, and I'm not in. Exactly. I don't know, Two Mules. I don't know. I mean, Jaden Blue comes from one of the best programs in the country, the Longhorns. They trusted him to block for Quinn Ewers, to block for Arch Manning. So, what's the difference with Dak Prescott? I don't know any like advanced stats on his blocking ability, but I don't remember Blue ever being a concern in the blocking game on those downs. And yeah, the fumbles thing did come up. I remember in the middle of last year the concern about Blue's fumbles, but about halfway through the season he fixed that, and he really didn't have any issues from then on out. But he did have a high number of fumbles per touch throughout the season. That was his big concern. Turpin or Mims straight up? What about Marvin Mims? I used to be so far off Marvin Mims, but now he's been getting the coach speak that he's going to play like a larger role and actually be their wide receiver too. So I've got 4% Marvin Mims, and I've taken him in other tournaments. I've taken him much more, but now I'm pretty much just taking him on like Bo Nix teams or maybe Mahomes teams. I've come more around on Mims because I think if he does play snaps, if he plays more snaps, he's actually like good. We look at his target separation was number 1, his target premium number 3. He's not winning as much on his routes, but his target accuracy, so he's got a good QB. Yards per route run was number 3. That's pretty insane. So yards after catch, number 8. So this guy's converting targets into extra yardage. We just got to get him more routes because he's kind of like Turpin, like not running enough routes. But this guy's actually good. He has actually like good stats. 9 explosive plays, technically less than Turpin. That's pretty funny, but 6 touchdowns. And then he's got more yards than air yards, so he's definitely converting and producing yards. But you could call Marvin Mims very expensive. I think he's been expensive all season. I've sprinkled him in. At least he's on 150 pounds. New coaching staff hyped Turpin up a lot. I just can't get there. He's at best the number 3 in targets, and you have to beat out Ferguson. So let's just assume at best he's number 4 in targets. There's just not enough. There's not enough there for me to get around to Turpin. There are receivers on their own teams who could be 2nd or 3rd in targets. Lockett, Roman Wilson, Noah Brown, Kayshon Boutte, Tutu Atwell, Devon Vele, Zay Jones, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. All of these guys are almost assuredly going to have more targets and more routes than Turpin. MVS is not that good. Steve seems to like him, so I've come around to it a little bit, but like what does MVS do in terms of routes? Still way more than Turpin. Honestly, his numbers look pretty bad too, though. So that's a good case for Horton breaking out, taking over that role on the Seahawks. $19 receptions. Remind me, where do my rank MVS? Remind me to move him down. Gotta move Lockett up. can do that right now too. With Mims, he could literally be the third target on his team. It goes Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram, Marvin Mims. Maybe Pat Bryant, maybe not. Maybe Troy Franklin, maybe not. Turpin is not going to beat out Ferguson or Pickens. There's just 0% chance. I think Denver's offensive line is just good, so I want pieces of it, but it is tough to figure out if it's not just consolidated around Sutton, Ingram, Harvey, a little bit of Dobbins, mostly Harvey, I think. Let's go look at his game logs. Like, a 29-year-old, 5'7", 150-pound special teamer had a career year with 31 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Did he have a game where he ever hit your flex? He had a game in week 3. This is PPR scoring, so it's a little bit off, but 14 points. If we corrected that for the PPR, it's closer to 12 and a half. That's hardly flex worthy, and that includes a touchdown. His best week was in week 11 against Jalen Petrie and the Houston Texans. I do remember him scoring that game. 17 points. If you correct for the PPR, it's closer to 16. 16 points in your flex. 86 yards and a touchdown on 3 receptions. His floor is scoring 0 points more often than he's hitting your flex. And if you I just don't think he can earn targets over Pickens. It's a funny comparison with Marvin Mims. I'll give you that. Mims is much younger, faster, bigger, more draft capital, better path to targets, better offense in terms of his ability to, not like better offense, but better offense in terms of his ability to like earn a role. I think more opportunity is what I'm saying. And then his game log, that's why I've also been so out on Mims and slightly fading him, but he puts up a ton of zeros as well. Very similar, except he hits your flex here once with like 12 points. Again here week 13 with like 17 and a half points. But then in week 17, famously, puts up 30 points, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. He has 2 games of 100 yards. It's an arbitrary cutoff, but Turpin's never done that. Week 18 shouldn't count, but there he is putting up 2 more touchdowns, 50 yards, about 19 fantasy points and half-point PPR. And it's against the exact same team he's playing in week 17 this coming season, so I don't think Mims is great. I'm definitely underweight, but he has a better opportunity to expand his role. But he's going drafted pretty highly for how limited of snaps he was playing and how many zeros he puts up too. Yeah, I don't think there's actually a way that Turpin can get to 3rd in targets in Dallas. I think the more I'm thinking about it, the best case scenario for him is like 5th in targets, because it's CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Ferguson, might be Tolbert, or Jaden Blue, and then Turpin. That's how I would probably think about it. Troy Franklin. Yeah, for competing with Mims, I would agree. I've heard some good things about Franklin too. So I'm not like super stoked on Mims. Yeah, that's a good point. I need to move MVS down a little bit. I've only drafted him, I think, twice, but he's probably not worth drafting anymore, right? That's a good point. It is price sensitive. There is some that does matter. Kind of what I was thinking. Mims getting more routes this year. Yeah, I heard this George Pickens guy might be good. Third wide receiver. He could be, but even then, like, Tolbert had a career year last year, and he's still on the team. And they have some other guys too who actually play, I think, just as much. So, like, Tolbert, way more targets and receptions, yards, air yards, way more touchdowns. He played like, that's like 3 times as many routes as Turpin. And then they have this guy, Ryan Flournoy. He didn't play a whole lot last season, but he could come on. That's pretty much, I mean, that's super deep. That's not really, it's more about Tolbert. Yeah, probably right. Yeah, what's up, Steve? They're resting their special teamer. Hey, over 50. Wow. That would be bold. If we get to over 50, we might just stream all night long. I'm about to check in, though. I'm about to review this team. If we're above... Oh, we're at 39. Nice. I guess we are doing another draft. Let's get to 40. Let's get to 40 before the next draft. It'll be fun. Appreciate y'all being here. And hey, we've added 7 subscribers during the stream. I'm honestly shocked. I'm surprised. I'm very thankful and grateful for y'all being here on this Tuesday night. Talking ball. Always fun. It's been a while since we did our last draft, too. So we're about to get right back into another one. Appreciate you, Steve. Oh, speaking of Steve, tomorrow night on the Fanspeak Network, Best Ball Jeopardy, myself going up against Cody from Off the Schneid in the semifinals. Winner goes to the finals. So tune in for that tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Fanspeak Network YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe. Come check it out. Come watch. It's a whole lot of fun. I'm excited about it. And Cody's going down. Poor man's Debo, not even close. Debo Samuel is a fantasy superstar. Turpin is forgettable at best. I know, I have some. It's unfortunate. Yo, what up? What up, Lumpski? Let's hit a marathon. Yeah, they do have this marathon promo out right now. No way, 47? Wow. You guys are too good. There we go. Whoa, that was quick. Almost to 50. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm on a goal to hit 500 subs by the start of the NFL season. And I announced it earlier today, but if you're subscribed to the channel, starting today, for every comment you give across any of my videos, whether it's a previous live stream, a previous short, a previous video, every comment that a subscriber makes on any of my videos starting today, going forward until I hit 500 subscribers, gives you an extra entry into winning a free entry into Best Ball Mania, a $25 value that I will be giving away, kind of like a lottery or like a giveaway. So go comment on all the past videos if you want to. Comment on this one when it's over, future ones, but make sure you're subscribed. Come draft some best ball teams with us. It's peak best ball summer right now, and we're drafting teams. We're talking strategy, and a lot of sharp people in this community. So come be a part of it. Say what up in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's see. So that's one vote from David for a marathon. One vote from Kreoth. What's up, brother? For a puppy. Okay, so Dirty. The promo's not great. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have to draft 5 marathons to get 1 free. And you can do it twice. So if you were to draft, and you have to do it before Saturday, I think. So only today and tomorrow. August 19th and 20th, if you can draft 10 marathons, you get 2 free. I think is the promo. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's no way I get there. Slows would count, but I'm not doing slows. Marathon. Oh, Peanut Putch. What up, AJ? 2 votes for a marathon. Okay. If you mention Kevontae Turpin, you might get 2 entries. I'm willing to come off my priors. I'm willing to come around on Kevontae. I mean, I take the things that Huhames suggests seriously. I think he's a very sharp drafter. So if Huhames is drafting Kevontae Turpin, I probably need more than none. But also it's hard. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to figure it out. Yo, what up, Crumb? Yeah, let's draft. Okay. Great Dane. Okay, Hartman, Venmo me the 100 and we'll split it. But honestly, I couldn't fill the Great Dane. The other day, I sat here for an hour vamping about running back stats, which, if you haven't seen it, I took that 45 minutes from my stream last week where I talked about running backs for about, all this data that I always bring up. This one, I talked about this for 45 minutes during the stream, and then I cut that out and I posted it as a video called League Losers, which running backs to draft, which ones to avoid, whatever the title of the video is. It's doing pretty good. It has like 600 views, which is pretty sick. So I appreciate y'all for looking at that. People don't really like the video though, because it's 45 minutes of me rambling about very specific running back stats from last season with like no editing and like no intro, no outro. So people don't really like that video, but it has gotten a good amount of views, and I'm pretty surprised. I was just putting it out there because better than nothing. So, but I've gotten some good feedback on that. Like, I might actually put some more effort into editing some actual videos and putting them out, because it's kind of fun, but it's a lot of work for sure. And even doing that unedited version was like a little bit of effort. So, but if you haven't checked it out, you can check out that video too. It's just me going through last year's running backs and which ones are consistently good and which ones are like either not consistently good or actually consistently bad. So that was fun to do. But the reason I did that is because I was trying to fill a Great Dane. It went from +5 to +2 to +7 over the course of 45 minutes. It just never filled. Hartman. Okay, we got 3 votes for a marathon. Crumb says marathon. I think that's 4 marathons. Yeah, do 5, get 15. Yes, sir. You can do 2 times. Yes, sir. Yeah, 150 get 30 back. It's Turpin time, baby. I know. Cody too. Cody's another Turpin truther, so I think that counts for something. I might have to take, next time I draft Dak Prescott or Jaden Daniels, I will consider Turpin. I'll adjust the ranks. That's a very interesting point. See exactly what I was thinking there. Yo, what up, Chris B? CB Jets fan, my man. The one, the only. Hey, appreciate the kind words. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hope you're having a great night. We're all chirping Turpin. Okay, here. Y'all are gonna get in. Y'all are gonna see this live. I'm going to the ranks. We're adjusting the ranks live. We got to make some changes. We got to move Scantling out of the ranks. We got to move Lockett up. We got to move Turpin up. There we go. What else? What else is wrong? You guys did it. You finally convinced me. I'm listening. No, not one spot. I moved him up. So I draft in tiers. So like, it's only relevant, you know, the movement in my ranks. It only matters relative to other players in the same position group. So essentially I moved Turpin from undraftable to draftable. Tesla up. Let's see, Hartman. I think I have Tesla just fine, but he probably is worth moving up. I have Tesla right behind Knoll and ahead of Mason Taylor, Wright, Hunt, Gesicki, Harris, Marks. Let's move Marks up a little bit. Just because Sharpman suggested, we'll move Tesla one spot ahead of Knoll. I don't draft Hollywood anymore. I don't know why I have 3% Hollywood. He's always injured. Let's Pierce, Adonai Mitchell, Coker. I guess Tesla should be closer to them. So let's put him next to Coker. And then honestly, Johnny should be higher. It doesn't really matter though, because he didn't pass any other tight end, so it's all in the same tier. And then K. Dotton looking healthy and being fine, probably higher. Brenton Strange, let's not forget about him. After Otten. And then JT Sanders. Whoops. Let's move JT Sanders up too. That seems fine. Let's save that. Any other players we should move up and down? What do you guys think? Move Franklin up. Okay, let's move Franklin up. Franklin's too low. He's off the bottom of the list. We can move Franklin up. Yeah, he's pretty low down there. Put Franklin at the front of this group with Slayton, Hop, Pat Bryant, Ayo Manor. I think that's fair. Essentially, I would scroll down and correlate him either way, so it's kind of the same tier. Okay. Holly back at practice? Who's Holly? Holly? Who's Holly? Oh, Hollywood. Allegedly. Yeah, I'm just never really in on Hollywood. I don't know. Tyquan Thornton, I don't think I have him ranked anymore. Oh, great. Yeah, great point, Chris. I positioned this thumbnail and this stream as, Lamb over Gibbs. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but we didn't really go deep on it. But Chris is feeling the CeeDee Lamb. I think that's my main reasoning for CeeDee Lamb over Gibbs currently is more of a structural reason where you can get CeeDee Lamb and then a decent running back at the 2-3 turn versus when you take Gibbs, kind of like Jeff T, or I forget who was saying it earlier. It's like you end up with T Higgins or Tyreek Hill as your wide receiver one, which can be totally fine, but I think the comparison of the two, it's like I end up going with those guys more. Coker than Tesla right after. Are these my rankings? I mean, they might as well be. I'm 8% Turpin PBM, and I think that's about right, because if you're definitely in on Turpin, you could take him in every single draft, but that's like we have to resist that urge, knowing that there are so many players that go undrafted, and the odds of any one player like being that guy compared to all of the undrafted players is so small. Yes, if we knew 2 years ago, like to draft Kyron Williams 100% of the time, like you would do it. But at the same time, if your player take was 2 years ago to take, let's just name another player, whoever it could have been, and you took that other player 100% of the time, you'd end up with 0% Kyron Williams, and then it's like the opposite effect. So I think 8% on a player that goes in at round 18 is a very strong stance without being too overexposed. So I like that. If you're in on that guy, that's a good place to be. KLS, I thought for real. I think I have KLS up there. He's pretty. I mean, he's definitely ranked. I've taken him once, so like I'll draft him. I drafted him on a Herbert team pretty recently. Yeah, no, I'm in on Ollie Gordon. That's a good idea. I think where did I move him so far? I've moved Ollie Gordon up like almost every day this week. So he's healthy and he's playing. Probably put him ahead of Garindo. I don't know what to do with Garindo. He just returned to practice. Let's read this. He returned. Okay, it looks like Garindo's back. I'm going to have to bump him back up in my ranks as it is. So Garindo's going to go closer to... I don't know. I'll call it here for now. Next to Jerome Ford. Next to Benson, Algier. This is where I used to have him. Shipley and Dowd will go up a little bit. It's tier-based drafting, so like me moving Shipley and Dowdle up actually does nothing because they didn't pass any other running backs. But I did move Garindo back up a good amount. Yeah, I like the Ollie shout. Hollywood Brown. Lamb's a value after the 102. 100% agree. Yeah, it was for a while there. We did. You can still get Justin Jefferson there, which is interesting. Let me look at Hollywood one more time. I just have him too far down. That's just too far. That's just too far down. Hollywood over Coker, over Tesla, Alec Pierce, Adonai Mitchell, Quentin Johnston, Leggett, Thielen, Thornton, Tillman, Wandale. Probably right in here is fine. closer to ADP. I'll fix that. I'm just not really drafting him, but I could throw him on some KC stacks. That makes a lot of sense too, James. Exactly. So I scroll past a lot of these names and I correlate for the 18th round a good amount. I like that. 13% CeeDee and Gibbs. So then, Paul, who do you fade slightly? You must be slightly out on Bijan, Jefferson potentially, or just Saquon. Yeah, no, totally. That makes so much sense. Yeah. You know, the thing about Gibbs, though, in PPR is in PPR, Gibbs has an insanely high ceiling as well. Not only because of the high scoring offense with the touchdowns, but like the fact that he catches so many balls. Gibbs is like the #1 pass catcher running back. Him and HN. But yeah, I mean, CeeDee, you can't go wrong. When are the drafts? Yeah, Hartman, as you know, this is not actually a drafting stream. This is just this is very meta. This is just a stream talking about streaming drafts. We don't actually draft on this channel. We just talk about drafting. It's very meta. But without further ado, let's jump into, you guys voted, let's do a marathon. I didn't think I'd be jumping into another marathon tonight, but I have only done 7 so far. I did the last promo. Entering now, I put it in the chat for a marathon. So when you see it in the chat, I'm entering it now here. $15 marathon. Let's get in. Waiting on 3, 2, 1. We're going to fill this one super quick. Y'all are excited. I'm excited. Let's do it. And then I'm going to use this information against him. I'm going to go download Steve's marathon ranks. Shout out to Steve. Shout out to the Fanspeak Network. You can get access to their articles, to their rankings, and all of the good stuff. It's actually Meg's marathon rankings. I'm downloading them right now. I have a premium subscription to the Fanspeak Network. Go check them out. Get their rankings, read their articles, and enjoy. You'll like it. I enjoy it. I like my subscription there, and they put out a lot of good content, a lot of good, sharp, actionable information. So just before we start this draft, just never forget what David Montgomery is. I'm going to upload my rankings real quick. I'm uploading my rankings in the CSV for the marathon that I just downloaded from the Fanspeak Network. So I'm using their own information against them because Steve's in this draft. There we go. Boom. The rankings are in. I've saved them. I'm going to go off of them. Let me get back in this draft. I'm 3 picks away. I'm picking from the 5 spot, but just never forget David Montgomery. He's got the feet of Saquon Barkley, the vision of Le'Veon Bell, the strength of Ezekiel Elliott, and the athleticism, yikes, of Sony Michel. That's where they went wrong. That's where, I mean, David Montgomery, if he had anyone else's athleticism, he'd be so much better off, but that's the way it goes for him. That's why he ended up the way he is today. These things are snap filling dirty. I mean, the marathons never fill, but with this promo, they are filling. And I will go CeeDee Lamb here, no doubt. CeeDee Lamb from the 5 spot. Let's go. We've got David Lumsky, a.k.a. David Lutomsky, in the 1 spot. We got Jalapeno Jenkins, Peppers in the 4, myself in the 5, P-Punch. We got AJ in the 7, Steve in the 8. I'm pretty sure M. Schaub. That's Meg in here too. Yeah, Meg's in here too. I was gonna say, I was like, wait a second. Hey, we got Nez in here. Nez in the 10 spot. We got Steve. We got Meg. We got Nez. Hilltoppers in the 12. Yo, what up, Hartman? You didn't get in. That's, yeah, Hilltoppers is Crumb in the 12 spot. Hartman, one of the drafts. When are you gonna draft, brother? You didn't make it in? Are you in the overflow, the underflow? I feel like someone else wanted to draft. They didn't get in either, but we'll do more. We'll do more. Lower on the Bijan Saquon. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yes, yes. Meg is our marathon champ. So I've got Meg's rankings uploaded in here and looking to dominate. That's hilarious. Yeah. Nez, come say what up. We did a Ballsy episode with Steve a few weeks ago, and we did a Ballsy episode with Nez about a month ago. Super fun times. Always great. Always a great show. The Ballsy show with Bindles and myself co-hosting. It's Monday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Super fun. We just had Ben Gretsch on last night on Bindles' channel. Go check that one out if you haven't seen it already. Make sure you slap a like on the video on Bindles' channel. Subscribe to Bindles' channel and comment below on that video if you haven't already seen it. If you haven't already commented, go comment on the Ballsy episode from last night on Bindles' channel and say, great draft, fun guest, great time. You know, anything positive like that. Let's make his day. CeeDee Lamb, McConkey, Achane, Josh Jacobs, Bucky Irving. I'm gonna go Lad, and then just see what comes back around at 29. I'm a little bit worried that I'm gonna get blocked out from a top running back by 29, but I do like Lamb and McConkey. I'm just afraid that I'm going to get blocked out of a running back that I really want. Josh Allen goes in the first round. Achane falls all the way to 22 to the Bijan drafter. Incredible. Yeah, Irving and Jacobs go. Bummer. I know. What's going on? I've never seen the marathon fill this fast. What can we get into tonight? We'll see. I mean, there's a good chance I take Dak, so this could be the one, actually. No, Lamar goes. I would have liked Lamar. I guess I just go T. Higgins here, and I keep riding the wave. Although, I'm actually very tempted to go Jaden Daniels, and I think I will. So I'm going to pull up Jaden Daniels here. Not exactly where Meg has him ranked, but I think for this team, it just felt right. People smelling the overlay. Yeah, the marathon was like the least filled tournament, but it doesn't even have that many entrants to fill it, right? It's like 50. No, this is actually bigger than the. Is it bigger than the sprint? $15, 75,000. It's currently at 30,000. There's potentially going to be some overlay, but it seems like it's picked up because I thought it was like 25% filled last week, so it's definitely picked up some steam. Let's check. Where's the sprint at? The sprint's similar. It's at 39%, 55. So I was thinking of the sprint, the size of the sprint. It's a $20 entry, so it's a little bit. I forget who said this. We were talking about this a couple nights ago. I think the marathon should be a $10 entry, and I think the sprint should be a $10 entry as well. I think they both should be $10 entries, or maybe even $5, and then you can just double the size of it, and it would fill faster, and people would like it more. The funny thing about the marathon is I don't particularly remember what the strategy is to like win the marathon. Obviously, you want to have the best player score the most points, but like, is elite QB better? Is elite tight end worse? Like, where do we draw the line? I know for the sprint, it seemed like elite tight end didn't really matter. I'm just going to draft good players. No Kyron. Yeah, Kyron goes to 34 in this one. Pretty nice value for season long on Kyron. Yeah, a lot of RB prioritization. That's why I'm a fish here in this marathon. I'm not drafting RBs. How do I resist Terry McLaurin here with Jaden Daniels? Or I could take Pickens. I feel like I will take Terry McLaurin and hope to God he actually doesn't hold out and actually signs and plays. And then I'll start to hammer running backs, but I can't get too far behind because the league winning upside for running back, it doesn't last much longer than this. Not a very balanced approach. I think for this marathon, the idea is to be more balanced. And I'm pretty much going zero RB. So not ideal. Yeah, that team taking Allen and then Jackson, but we haven't seen any other QBs go. I mean, I took Daniels right after, but I'm pretty high on Daniels. Hurts goes at 37. That seems totally fine. Yo, what up, Meg? Yeah. Meg's like, oh, let me just relax, do a little drafting, and then bam, you're in here with Nez, with me, with Steve, P-Punch. We got Crumb in the 12 spot. We got Peppers in the 4. We got Lumsky in the 1. So bunch of sharps, bunch of best ball bros in this one. Okay. I pull up James Conner. Or Kamara. I'll go James Conner. Meg has James Conner ranked higher. I like James Conner. I could have taken Harvey. Harvey or Conner. Toss up. I went Conner there. I like Conner. I guess what it comes down to is I think Conner, he got it done last year with just like 60% of his backfield snaps. Yeah, 61%. I think that's very repeatable. I think Benson can still get some without like cutting into that. Kamara, I think, played a lot more snaps. 73%. But what direction are the Saints going? I guess I have to look at Javonte Williams. He was on the Broncos last season, and he was at like 53%. So I don't know. Coin flip. Could have been Connor, could have been Kamara, could have been Harvey there for me. I definitely needed a running back. And there's like at pick 68, I have 2 running backs in mind that I would really like to get. But if not, I think I'll be just fine. Montgomery would have been cool too. So there's actually 3 in mind. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. Preying on the Bengals defense could set you up in a nice spot. Pollard goes. I was heavily considering Pollard with my next pick if he would have been there. Sometimes he's there, ADP wise. Yeah, no, it's and just, every point counts, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying in general. Yeah, I mean, week 17 counts. It's just, we all know it's a marathon. Like, you just gotta score all season long. So every week is pretty equal. Wow, McCarthy going with Justin Jefferson at pick 67. Is that a star method error? What's going on? Star method strikes again. I'm gonna grab Pacheco here. Pacheco, I have at the top of a tier with like Pollard and Montgomery and Swift. So I'm really happy to get Pacheco there. Yeah, that is tough, Meg. Meg, I was just saying I uploaded your rankings like 10 minutes ago, and so I'm drafting off of your rankings. So that's pretty funny because you're in this room too. Makes it even funnier. Yeah, 20-second clock, star method gets him again. Dang, Debo goes. I would have loved Debo to come back around, but I needed that second running back sooner than later, so it wasn't meant to be. But I got Terry McLaurin. Debo would have been sick. I'm almost back on the clock. Hawkinson, Laporta, Downs, Caleb, Hawkinson, Laporta. I'm going to go Laporta. I like Laporta. I could have done Hawkinson. I could have taken a flex spot. Kind of put me in a tough spot, though. I think Downs is going to miss a little bit of time or maybe even just have a slow start with the recent injury. So I'm not like super in on Downs there. Reed had a recent injury, so that's not exciting. Juwan Jennings has the calf. That's a little bit ambiguous. Maybe it's a holdout for the contract. So I could have gone flex there. It would have been really pulling someone up or settling on Caleb Johnson, who sounds like he's not winning the RB1 role to start anyways. So not super excited about that. So let me go ahead and fill out with Laporta, who I think is a borderline elite tight end in a, for sure, elite scoring offense. And then I'll figure out my next flex spot. Through the first 7 rounds, I have a 1-2-3-1 build. CeeDee Lamb, Lad McConkey, Jaden Daniels, stacked with Terry McLaurin. I got James Conner and Pacheco, so I pushed running back a little bit, but I made up some ground quickly. I feel good about that. I got Laporta with my last pick. I need some more flex fill-ins. In the 6th spot? Yeah, but he's doing some weird things. We took McCarthy super early. But I guess, he takes McCarthy. He grabs Hawkinson. Maybe he knows what he's doing. It's a very interesting approach. So, like, why is Pittman still there? And why is his ADP so different in this format? I don't understand that. B-Rob's there, but that makes sense. To me, it's clearly Pittman. Yeah, so I'm going Pittman there at 92. I think that's a totally fine spot to take him. I get my flex filled in with Michael Pittman Jr. Shakir going at 91 makes sense because the injury concern. Same thing with Jaden Reed at 89. Downs at 88. But like an injured Downs before Michael Pittman. I don't know. It's interesting. The ADP differences between the marathon and like a regular Best Ball Mania ADP, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. It's been so long since I've drafted a marathon. But maybe Downs comes back soon. We'll see. Maybe it's not too severe. I'm starting to be like that's why HN fell in this one. I'm assuming is because like even if he misses one game or is limited to start the season, it really makes a big difference in this kind of format. So I'm gonna generally just avoid injured players with my best knowledge and try to draft for upside. I just took Bill at pick 101 and you know what that means. Bill Krosky Merritt, stacked with Jaden Daniels. Let's hit the clip. I mean, it was ambiguous there for me what to do. Take a fifth receiver, get my third running back, and it would have been Scadaboo for running back. It would have been Coleman for receiver. Krosky Merritt just correlates so well with my Jade Daniels bet. I'm betting on the Commanders. And if we're drafting Brian Robinson ahead of pick 100, and then Bill comes in and takes his job, what's the difference? So it's funny though, because the marathon is like not even close to filled. I bet you that Bill is much higher owned in this format and generally much higher owned at kind of around this ADP between here and pick 140 or 150 than he would be in like Best Ball Mania. So he's probably not that big of a differentiator in a tournament standpoint in this format because of that, because it's only 20-30% filled when he started really rising in price. But still, I think it's a fun little, let's throw him in. I'm not going to draft that many marathons. I'm probably not even going to draft enough to hit this promo, but let me throw in some Bill. Jeff T, hilarious. I'll make these picks. I'll catch up with the chat. Pick 116. So, Ingram, Herbert's there, but it has the same buy, so it's not ideal. Bateman's there. I feel like Ingram could be a really nice piece, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and let it hit on Ingram, and then my next pick, I'll think about which wide receivers I might want. I don't know. I mean, okay, Herbert goes. That actually kind of helps, especially because of the same bye week. So then I'd be forced into taking a third quarterback, which doesn't seem super ideal if I'm paying up for Jaden Daniels that much. I'll draft Luther Burden here. Easy click for me. Appreciate y'all watching. We're drafting a marathon right now on Underdog. It is a season-long, weeks 1 through 17 cumulative scoring format. It's only my 8th marathon I've done this summer, and there's a promo right now on Underdog where if you draft 5 marathons, you get 1 free, and you can do it up to twice, but you have to get all these drafts in, whether fast or slow. You have to get them started before midnight Eastern tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. I have a goal to hit 500 subs before the start of the NFL season, and we're getting really close. I think we can do it, but I need your help. And a new promo I'm putting out. Everyone who subscribed, for every comment you leave on one of my streams or videos, starting today, but it goes back to any of my previous videos too, I'm going to put you in a raffle to win a free entry into Best Ball Mania, a $25 value. Once I hit 500 subscribers, I will be raffling that out to one of my subscribers. And every time you comment on a video, you get an extra entry into the raffle. So make sure you're subbed. Help me help you. Let's draft some best ball teams together. Make sure you hit the like on your way in. We're killing it tonight. We're having fun. This is our third draft. We did 2 best ball manias earlier, and now a marathon as voted by you, the chat. I appreciate y'all all for being here, chilling with me on a Tuesday night. It's peak best ball season. It is hot best ball summer, and we're getting after it. We're having some fun drafting these tournaments and trying to take home a big prize. So if you have any questions, come jump in the chat, say what up, let us know your fantasy and draft questions. I know a lot of people are doing redrafts right now. I just finished a redraft league with my brother Sunday night. It was super fun. We grabbed Bill in the last round before we took a kicker and a defense. And that's paying off pretty quickly. It's looking nice. So let's see. I might want to grab that QB. It could be Bryce Young. I could wait on Cam Ward. Bryce Young's easy to backstack. Running back's pretty flat in here for me, so I will just go Bryce Young and then be done at QB. Get that all figured out. I'll see which running backs come back around. Hey, there we go. Yeah, Meg has a new article coming out on the Fanspeak Network tomorrow for the marathon strategy. Very cool. Very, very cool. I'll be on the lookout for that one for sure. Yeah, so true, right? So true. Ooh, good shout, Jeff T. I'll keep that in mind. We'll see where he goes. The Bill Club. Yeah. Dollar bills, y'all. No way. No, sir. You won't see me drafting him. Yo, Peppers. Yeah. Yeah. Get the Bateman. Get the stack. Peppers, you have a very unorthodox team as it is, though, taking the double elite. We'll see which receivers come back around. I grabbed Blue there as my 4th running back. I'm all in. Tootin goes out, Tootin, Blue, Samson, upside, shots at running back. Eckler went to Nez at 135. I think I heard Nez talking about Eckler earlier today on his stream and kind of, if we're so confident that Brian Robinson gets traded or cut, then Eckler should be a big beneficiary of that movement, which makes sense to me. But that's, you know, pretty steep price for Eckler, but maybe it's right. Yeah, tough room, right, Peanut? What did we get ourselves into? We filled this one with all friends and family. Fun, though. Avoid the sharps. Yeah, you could argue that it makes you even sharper. Yeah, not wrong, OMG. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I moved Eckler up too. I've been drafting a ton of Eckler, so this is my exposure across all tournaments. And I used to have Eckler at like 18%. It's only at 14 now. I kind of cooled off on him in the last month, but I've got a bunch of Eckler, so that feels good. Feels fine. Could be exciting. I would grab Thielen here. I don't know if I need Ertz, so I'll probably chill on that idea. He goes anyways, which is perfectly fine for me. I didn't really need him. Could use a running back. Thielen goes. Bummer. Bummer, dude. What I'll do is I will take Ford here, and then I might take another running back pretty soon. Ooh, Dowdle. I would have liked Dowdle on this team, but he goes. Algier and Dowdle go after take Ford through 14 rounds in this marathon. Cumulative scoring weeks 1 to 17 best ball format. I have a 2-5-5-2 build with Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young, James Conner, Isaiah Pacheco, Bill Krosky Merritt, Jaden Blue, Jerome Ford. So I've got 5 running backs that I feel pretty good about. No terrible bye week overlaps. For wide receiver, I have CeeDee Lamb, Ladd McConkey, Terry McLaurin stacked, Michael Pittman, Luther Burden, Sam Laporta, Evan Ingram. And I feel good about those bye weeks and everything set up there. So maybe just a little preference not to get bye week 12 with my next couple picks, but otherwise we're looking good. Garendo's back today. I'm going to bump him up a little bit. Ollie Gordon goes. That's a pretty sappy pick. So for me, it'd be like Garendo or Shipley, and then otherwise receiver-wise, I'm going to chill. Horton's kind of cool. He's dealing with an injury, didn't practice today, so that's sucky. Garendo comes back. Let's grab Garendo. Anytime you have a piece of the San Francisco 49ers backfield, it could pay off. I'm really hammering running backs in these middle late rounds. Yeah, who hams? I know what you're saying. Me and you were on that same wavelength. There you go. Dirty is in the underflow. I wonder if Hartman was in the underflow too, because he was. I think he was interested to get in. I think so too. Jeff T. I mean, Samson is a fun click as well. Samson's a fun click. Both Samson and Ford could, at the same time, be good picks and not pay off, because maybe the Browns are just not the team you need a piece of, but they also could be underpriced. Stafford going. Okay. I'm pretty locked into my 2 QB build. I think I'm chilling. I probably could do a 2, 6, 8-2 build. Two 6-7-3, something like that. Oh, Alec Pierce came back to practice today, and he gets drafted. Go figure. That's exciting. Okay, I will take Jalen Coker here. Time to circle back at wide receiver. Get the stack with Bryce Young. Make a team bet on the Carolina Panthers. And I think he's a fun click. Enough said. Jalen Coker. Oh, no, Hartman. No. You're still entering slow drafts? Bro, come on. We got to get you off. Gotta get you off those slows. The 4-hour clock is starting Thursday, I've heard. You went 100 in your marathon? Well, are you in the marathon with me? Because I took him at 101. Probably not far off. Not terrible. Okay, 2-6-6-2. If I did take a third running back, I don't even know who it would be at this point. So I'm going to keep pushing that. Wide receivers, if I took another wide receiver here, I kind of can push that too. Maybe I do need that third tight end for some upside, for some... Oh, there goes JT Sanders. Hate to see it. I like Mason Taylor. I think it could be fun. I'll do it in this one. Let me grab some Mason Taylor. I just don't even know. Oh, I could have. Okay. Well, 2-6-6-3, and then let me see. My wide receivers 10, 12, 12, 11, 5, 14. I probably do want one more receiver. It feels pretty strong though, but I probably just want one more. Versus the running back where 8, 10, 12, 10, 9, 14 should be covered. Rendo's coming back from the injury, but he's honestly probably fine. I'm going to bet on the 2 QBs, so that's how that one goes. Just got to hope that Bryce Young can carry in week 12. Otherwise, Jaden Daniels holding it down. Ah, man, do I... Maybe I shouldn't have gone with that third tight end. Because I'm just thinking about all these other running back options that could be like potential league winners that I want to shoot for. Woody Marks would have been maybe one of them in this format, just getting early season touches. Keaton Mitchell, also interesting. You know, Kareem Hunt is serviceable when he gets the work if Pacheco's injured. I have Pacheco in this one, so let's just hope not, because I guess looking back, that doesn't make sense. So I'm going to stick with my running back room. I'm going to stick with my quarterback room. Do I grab Anthony Richardson? Probably not. He has a huge spike week potential if he does end up playing, but it's a tough click. So receiver-wise for me here, ooh, I wanted Ray. That would have been a nice click. Let me think. I went with Ayo Minor. I think he could just be interesting. They're trying to like force feed him targets, it seems like. One more rookie with some upside. Why not? Yeah, no. He might, depends on where he goes, right? Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, no, 100%, you're totally right. If B-Rob does get traded or cut, JCM will rise even more. It's wild. I don't know. Yeah, Taj was going in this one. Whew, pretty early to Steve. Round 15, he gets Taj and Munangai. Richardson does get drafted at the very last pick to David, which I think is pretty sharp, actually. David goes with a 4-4-8-2 build. Very interesting. Yeah, slow draft problems. Some Roman Wilson. That's a fun click. Yeah. No, I didn't, Steve. I'm gonna go look at that now because I'm really interested. You said Underdog retweeted it. Something that the agent said. Was it Underdog NFL, or Underdog Drafts? There's so many accounts. If it's just Underdog, let me look. Okay, it must have been Underdog NFL. Let me go to Underdog NFL. If I find it, I'll pull it up on stream. Let's see. Oh, I found it. Okay, let me close my DMs. Let me bring this on stream. Follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. You'll know when I'm going live. You'll know when I'm retweeting out other great content from our friends across the fantasy and best ball community. So let me do this. Anthony Richardson's agent on QB's relationship with Colts via Holder Stephen Holder. Trust is a big factor, big trust. And that is at best questionable right now. Anthony came back and made the improvements in the areas he needed to improve. And by all accounts, he had a great camp. I mean, he didn't pick up that blitz coverage that broke his finger, but only QB I've ever seen tap out mid-drive. Ooh. Well, I don't know. People like to bring that up, but I mean, if I played in the league, I'd be tapping out after every play. Like, those guys get banged up. I don't know. I don't know how to read into that. People are saying fire the agent. People are saying Richardson doesn't have it. I don't know. I don't know. Peppers wanted Ailman. I've started to pick him a few times, slot him in the 18th round. He's usually there. It seems fine. I was reading the Titans wire and some of their, like, I don't know how I got onto Titans last week, but last week I was doing a deep dive on the Titans, reading a lot of their camp reports and things. They are trying to force feed Ailman and get him comfortable with turning those 50-50 balls into 80-20 balls, using his big body and his skill set to be an impact player for them. So it's obviously Ridley. It's obviously Okonkwo and Pollard. And can Ailman earn more of a role? Lockett is there, but it should be wide open. I think it's bad. The front office, at least, yeah. Yeah, makes sense, Steve. So true. It was funny. Greg Branos of Coach Speak Index posted that Shane Steichen has a 30% reliability rating on his depth chart coach speak. So even when they came out and said like Daniel Jones is the starter and he's in the starter all season and it's not a competition anymore and it's we believe in this guy and there's not a short leash, it's like you can't even trust what he's saying. It could be Anthony Richardson sooner than later. I don't know. I'm a little bit bag defending because I have like 10% Anthony Richardson in Best Ball Mania. I've been hammering Anthony Richardson for like the last month as my QB3 on a lot of builds. And I think he can still pay off in those ways because his ceiling is so good. If he ever plays a full game, with Danny Nichols. Yeah, I think so. What's crazy, right, David, is like they drafted AR and they're not even giving him the snaps and the reps that he needs to progress and to like continue to get better. He didn't play a whole lot in college at Florida. He hasn't like there's guys like Shuck, like Tyler Shuck, who's played more snaps as a QB in college alone than AR's played in college plus professionals combined. So like he just needs more reps. I think he can progress. He's at least such an interesting player. I mean, he has the size speed of Derrick Henry and he's trying to play quarterback. Like it to me it's very intriguing. And if I was a part of a franchise, whether it's coaching or like admin, I'd be pushing for this guy with his special skill set and his arm talent to try to get him on the field more. So Danny Dimes, I don't know. So Titans have Diet Brian Thomas and Diet Malik Neighbors. Who would those be? I don't even know who that would be. Those comps. Explain yourself, Peppers. Yeah, maybe when they brought on Danny Dimes, it was kind of like that was enough because what happened last season? I know. That's so damning, isn't it? Yeah, I know. For Tommy Cutlets, it's so damning. Yeah, where would he go? The Saints? True. Very, very, very true. If I had to think of one quarterback right now who needs time, I'm hoping it's Bryce Young. I hope Bryce Young continues to get a lot better. So we just drafted this marathon on Underdog. It's a season-long scoring, 1-17. I'm about to review my team. We drafted it with like 6 other bros in the chat. Shout out to David in the 1 spot, Peppers in the 4, I'm in the 5. We got AJ in the 7, Steve in the 8, Meg in the 9, Nez in the 10, and Crumb in the 12. Literally, to fill these marathons, you gotta have the whole village, but we got it done. And I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you're subscribed. Drafting Best Ball and streaming it live all summer long. And we're peaking right now. It's peak Best Ball summer. Having fun. Yo, what up, Billy? Okay, so Ridley is the Brian Thomas, and Aomanor is the Neighbors. Wait, what? The Peppers. Your comp is so funny to me. Titans have Diet Brian Thomas and Diet Malik Neighbors. Ridley went to Alabama and Aomanor went to Stanford. This is like the most diet you can get compared to the LSU combo of Brian Thomas and Neighbors, but I'll give you points for creativity. That's pretty funny. I'm like, my brain can't get there. Diet Brian. If I thought of like Diet Brian Thomas, it's like Keishon Butte. If I thought of Diet Malik Neighbors, who's Diet Malik Neighbors? Jack Besh. Yeah, I know, right, Meg? It's a marathon draft. I don't know how many marathons I'm going to do. I guess there is no advancing out of the pod, so this is just it. This is it. This is what we got. Good luck to all. Mealworm Malik Neighbors. Yeah, it's true. 5 more for another marathon. How's that for a ballsy take? That's pretty ballsy. I know. I was just thinking back to how far back could I go on these LSU guys and get there. What do you guys say? One more draft. One more draft. We're doing incredible. We've got 55 likes on the stream. We've got 87 watching. And we've added 9 subs since the start of this stream. I'm going to challenge y'all. I'm going to make a challenge. If we can get to 3 more subs, if we can get to 475 subs on the channel, 3 more subs, I will do 1 more draft. Make sure you like regardless. Like the stream. I'm going to add a poll right now. It'll say 745 subs for another draft. Yes, I'm in. No. Bedtime. See ya. Started the poll. I think we can do it. I have optimism. If there's 83 of us watching, we can't all be subbed. There's got to be some new names, some new faces in here. So I encourage you, come say what up in the chat. Hang out with us. A lot of sharp people in this community. Whoa, it worked. We got 2 new subs right off the bat. So we're 1 away. Honestly, I didn't think that would work, but I appreciate y'all. If we get to 700, or not 7, if we get to 700, we're going to be drafting all night. I'll call in sick to work. We'll just keep drafting. But if we get to 475, by the time I review this team, we'll rip another draft. We'll keep it going. It's a party. It's best ball summer. We're peaking. So, 1 more draft. Yeah, Diet Malik Neighbors is Terrace Marshall. Terrace Marshall, right? Funny story. I drafted Terrace Marshall in Dynasty, in my oldest Dynasty league. Man. What could have been? When in doubt, in Dynasty, just draft an Ohio State or an LSU wide receiver. Profit. Or LSU quarterback, you could argue. Do it, Peanut. Yeah, I appreciate you, Meg. And then, hey, speaking of the Fanspeak Network, tomorrow night on the Fanspeak Network, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Best Ball Jeopardy semifinals with yours truly. I'm one of the semifinalist contestants. I'm so excited. I'm so honored, and it's going to be fun. So be there. Best Ball Jeopardy. It's one of the most fun parts about Best Ball this summer. And it's tomorrow night on the Fanspeak Network, so tune in. Subscribe. Did we make it, Hartman? Did we make it? I'm going to refresh. I haven't even had time to review the team yet. We did. We made it to 475 with 91 watching. Hell yeah. Appreciate y'all. This is fun. This is fun. That's what it's all about. We've been drafting all summer. And yes. Yeah, it's going to be fun tomorrow night. All right, guys. Let's draft another marathon. I think we can do it. I think y'all want to. Speak now or forever hold your peace in the chat if you want to do a different tournament. So, like, what's open right now? We could get some 3-putt Thursday going, although the prize is pretty small, 2,000, and these things are really hard to win. So, let's pass on the 3-putt Thursday. NFL, we have Puppy 3, this brand new Pick 6, which I've never done, haven't considered, but could be something. Is there a rake on this? Yeah, there's a standard rake. The sprint, the marathon. I'll do a big dog if Hartman pays for it. I will do a big eliminator. I don't really want to do a big eliminator, honestly. I don't know. We've done 2 Best Ball Manias tonight. We've hit our quota. We're good there. The Great Dane 2 is going to fill soon. I have not gotten one in yet. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I tried to fill one on stream on Saturday night. Didn't fill. Flock. If y'all really want that, we can do Flock, but I haven't done any Flock so far. So I'm thinking marathon. Let's see what y'all think. Yes. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close. I'm excited. Yeah, honestly, it's crazy. I don't even know who he's playing for anymore. Great marathon. Okay. All right, let's do marathon. I'm going to roll a clip when I get back. I'll let y'all know. So don't enter the marathon yet, but I'm going to get some water. I'm going to roll a clip. I'll come back. I'll text it into the chat when I'm entering, and we can all enter the marathon if that's what you want to do. But in the meantime, let me know in the chat if you want to do any specific drafts. I'm going to go under the assumption that we're doing a marathon. But let me know. I'm going to roll this clip. I'll be right back, Areno, and we'll get into our last draft. Let's go ahead and do a classic, the T-Mac clip. Let's hit it. All right. It's a marathon. We're doing a marathon for sure. Oh, you did 4 of them earlier? Nice, nice. Probably, right? I would think so. Okay, I'm going to enter it into the chat. If we can fill this marathon, we had pretty good luck with it earlier. It's waiting on 7 for a marathon. So I think we can do it. If you're interested, there's a promo on Underdog right now. They announced it on Twitter today. If you can draft 5 marathons was it before tomorrow night at midnight? Yeah, I guess it wins. I think honestly, I said Friday earlier. I think it's only for Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. So if you can fill 5 marathons before midnight Eastern Wednesday, you get $15 back in promo credits, and you can do it twice. So you could do 10 drafts and get $30 back. It's essentially buy 5, get 1 free for the marathon to help them fill it. And I might get there now because if we can do a second one tonight, I might be tempted to do 3 more in the next 24 hours to get the promo. If not, I mean, it's still fun to do these marathons. It's different. It's a really different format. Season-long scoring, 75,000 people, which is crazy. It's kind of a big number. They might have made this smaller. 100,000 up top, and if you can finish in the top 100, 750. Not the most inspiring number. Top 1,000 gets you $60, so that's about 4 entries. So this would be my 9th entry. I did 7 earlier in the summer. Waiting on 4. Can we fill a marathon waiting on 4 people? Yes, sir. A marathon promo. Tomorrow midnight. So Hartman's confirming. Still waiting on 3. Yep. Yes, sir. Draft 5, get $15 back. Steve and the Peace, Huhames. Thanks for being here, man. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by, as always. Appreciate you, man. Slows didn't even fill, so just leave one. There you go. Leave the slow. Hop in the fast. Come on, Sharpman. There's no pods in this. There's no pod luck. Waiting on 3. Do we tweet it out? I'm going to tweet it out. Man, people are up late tonight. So the fantasy community is up late. Jason Moore just retweeted the Rich Eisen show related to I guess Andy Holloway was on the Rich Eisen show earlier today. That's pretty fun. What a crossover. And then, I mean, big news across the best ball community. We see that our own Pete Overzet is going to be representing the fantasy football analyst role for the Brazil stream from the NFL Network. I think it's actually through YouTube. So like YouTube is broadcasting the game, not the NFL Network. But that was announced today. That was pretty insane. Like just the crossing of worlds between mainstream football and fantasy, and not only just fantasy, but also best ball. So one of our very own best ball bros, the OG influencer, Pete Overzet, going to be going on with like some insane names too, like Derek Carr, Brandon Marshall, Cam Newton. What's funny, I saw someone comment during the Swolecast. They were like, "Oh, we need to dig up videos from last year of like Pete talking shit about Derek Carr," and then bring that up. That was so funny because there's bound to be like probably an infinite number of clips. I don't think it goes back to Brandon Marshall, but you might be able to find one of Pete talking about Cam Newton. You can definitely find him talking about Derek Carr though last season. So that was pretty funny. That was like the big news item though lately. Okay, we're waiting for 2 to fill this marathon. And then normal schedule for Peppers. There we go. Putt daddy. Retired. Living the good life. I made this note today to follow up on to do. It says BCM clip. Do Bill Nye intro song, Bill, and then have highlights of a couple BCM highlights, but I ended up just going with the 1 touchdown from the preseason game because I tried to get more highlights and they kept coming up as an error with like copyright infringement. So we're waiting on 1 for this marathon. Let's roll the brand new Bill clip in honor. It's almost as if he's, like, playing in the guitar there at the end. He's, like, celebrating, and it's, like, hitting the hitting a lick on the guitar. We're still waiting on 1 for this marathon, so sorry to let y'all down. Steve, I thought we could fill it. I thought we could fill it, Steve. I thought I had the power. The first one, we filled it so quickly, but this one, it's taken a little bit, which is totally fine. I don't even remember if I reviewed the last team. So let me go review the last team I drafted, and then we'll come back to that one. We'll come back to that one. I'll keep an eye on it. It's gonna fill soon. Still waiting on. Oh, it filled. It filled. So, but first, I'll still review this last marathon I just did, and then we'll jump back into that one. I have the 4 spot in this new one, so that'll be cool. The last team, I guess it was my 8th marathon. Yeah, that makes sense. Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young, James Conner, Isaiah Pacheco, Bill, Jaden Blue, Jerome Ford, Garindo. It's a 2-6-7-3 build. I kind of regret taking the 3rd tight end. I might have wanted to go 1 more running back. CeeDee Lamb, Ladd McConkey, Terry McLaurin stacked, Michael Pittman Jr., Luther Burden, Jalen Coker stacked, Alec Eilmanor, Laporta, Ingram, Mason Taylor. At least the tight ends have ceiling with like Laporta and Ingram, and then upside with Taylor that he could also break out, and then floor that they all have different bye weeks and tight ends get injured all the time. So that at least feels good. But I honestly think it might have just been better off taking another running back in this draft. We have Jalapeno Jenkins, aka Peppers, in the chat. The Daily Dial, someone I've drafted a ton of PGA best ball drafts with, is in here. I think Samuelson was just in the previous draft. I don't know if he's actually chilling with us tonight. Freddie P17 feels familiar. We got Hartman, aka Sharpman, aka my dog, in the 106. We got Meg in the 109, P Punch in the 110. Hilltoppers, aka Crumb. You got the 12 spot again. What did you do to deserve that? I kind of like the 12 spot though. What is Samuelson 31 gonna do here? My last team was CeeDee Lamb from the 4 spot. I think it was. Might have been the 5. Man, it's another one. It's another CeeDee Lamb team. I would have taken Barkley. I think Barkley in this format's very interesting. I'll go CeeDee Lamb there. Yo, what up, Jim? How we doing tonight? How heavy are my bill bags? Not that heavy. Not heavy at all, really. Like, not a name I was drafting a ton of. He was kind of on the radar, but like, let me do this. Across all tournaments, just 2%. And then I took him again tonight in a marathon, but I don't think I took him in a best ball mania tonight. So then just my best ball mania exposure. (3.5%). So I've got 4 best ball mania teams with Ja'Cory on it. Bill. So, not a lot. I should get some more. Justifies taking him on some more teams. I don't think I took him at all in the big board. I'd be surprised if I did. But I've come around. Like, I'm open to the new prices. I want to chase players up in this last half of August in these drafts. I want to chase up the rising players. I want to fade the falling players. I want to draft players I haven't already drafted. I want to get unique combinations, all those fun things. How about you, Jim? Jim, were you hip to Bill before the last week or two? Yeah, if I could edit videos, I would. Yeah, Crumb, I like the 12. You can get some nice double dips on receivers, just like you did with Amon-Ra and London. And then the players that come back around at the 3-4 are kind of nice too. So I ended up going CeeDee McConkey on the first one, and then I was always playing from behind at running back. So I will take JT here. Some Jonathan Taylor. Make sure I have it filtered to all tournaments. Jacobs, JT, so close in my mind. I kind of actually think I might like Josh Jacobs better because of his team environment, the quarterback play, the offensive line. But I honestly don't think the culture that bad of a team. They were like borderline, almost a playoff team last year, even with what's going on with them. So Lamar goes. We'll see. Okay. It's a Josh Allen build. I don't know how else to play it. I mean, that's seems very obvious. Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb start for this marathon. Weeks 1 to 17, cumulative scoring, best ball, 75,000 entrants. If you get the top 1,000, you get $60, which is like nothing. So that's 1 out of 75. That's not great. If you get the top 100, you got, I think, $1,000. So also not incredibly good. This is pretty top heavy. You want to be one of those top 100 teams or better. So pretty tough tournament. I think that's what the payout was, right? Top 100 was not that incredible for payout. No, I'm wrong. No, I'm right. Top 100 was 750. Top 75 is 1,000. So, I mean, to really hit it, you're gonna want to be top 10, top 20, even be fine. Tough to do in a field this big, 75,000. There could be some overlay. We'll see. Jaden Daniels going at pick 36. I think that's a very sharp pick. Kind of surprised he falls there in this format. He could just be the number one QB. That's what Ben Gretch's ballsy take last night on our stream on Bindle's channel, the Ballsy Show. Ben came on and said his ballsy take was that Jaden Daniels is the QB1 in fantasy for 2025. And I think it totally makes sense. The improved offensive line, improved weapons. Jaden Daniels down the stretch was on fire. And he reminded us too, Gretch was saying how when Jaden Daniels had the rib injury, it really limited his rushing upside for a number of weeks. There was a stretch, I think it was 5 or 6 games, where he was very limited on his rushing attempts. And I'm sure it hampered his passing a little bit too. So outside of those splits, Jaden Daniels was averaging like a ton of rushing yards and had like a super high fantasy floor for his scoring. People are worried about Jaden Daniels, or people are worried about Devontae Adams because of Matthew Stafford. I'm cool. I'm definitely interested in Devontae Adams at his suppressed price at this ADP. Give me another stud wide receiver at pick 45. Hartman grabs Hurts there. Hill and Achane together. Some people are worried about the little calf injury. Those tend to linger. They tend to re-aggravate. I mean, McCaffrey famously had a calf injury going into last season. Hitting it pretty hard. How much do you have, Jim? I'm curious. Yeah, that's true though. Maybe the Packers don't rush as much is something that I've also considered. That also could be true. They just drafted Golden. They gave Jacobs so many touches last season. Maybe they like don't lean on him as much. I'm gonna go Calvin Ridley. I thought about pulling up RJ Harvey. I am gonna go Calvin Ridley though. He's gonna be a target monster. The Titans are really gonna consolidate around a few pieces. Ridley, Pollard, Okonkwo. I think Cam Ward's good. I think the deep ball from Cam Ward is good. So I considered Smith there. Smith is another good pick. He might be dealing with an injury, so I'm trying to draft not injured players specifically in this format where you need to start strong in week 1 and carry a lead throughout the season. Maybe I did see some marathon research last year where the player who got first or was a top 5 finisher, they had some weeks where they scored like 88 fantasy points, but on average they were scoring like 130, 140 most weeks. I think is what I saw. Or maybe that was their ceiling weeks around 140 and they just did it a lot, but maybe the average was closer to 125. I'd have to look. It was like it wasn't it like 2,000 points? It wasn't even that high. What would 2,000 divided by 17? That'd be 118. So yeah, it was like 2,100. 2,100 divided by 17, 124. I think that's what it was. I think to win this format last year, you only had to average like 124 points a week, which seems high, but when you consider to win Best Ball Mania, you need like 170 points in week 17 or like 145 points like in the lowest year. 120 becomes a lot more doable. It's just sustaining that high floor. Yeah, I'm not going to draft a ton of marathons. So hopefully I'm not just throwing money away because I'm not like specifically building for this format with like my game theory. I'm not really optimal. That's true too, Steve. That's a good point. Yeah, yes, sir. Dirty. Me too. I mean, like the 2-3 turn and then lots in the third round. So for me here, it's like very obviously Debo Samuel, like a snap click. We were drafting Debo Samuel at the 2-3 turn last year on the 49ers. Now he's on the Commanders. Arguably just as good of an environment, just as good in a situation. And I want some of that, especially if McLaurin actually holds in, holds out. Like Debo could just be their number one wide receiver on the team for fantasy, even regardless of McLaurin's status. So touchdowns matter. We saw McLaurin score 16 touchdowns, including the postseason, and had a career year. Could Debo do that? Could Debo do it with Jaden Daniels in 2025? I don't see why not. He's healthy. He's feeling good. And now I just need to play catch up at running back. But I'm anchored down with JT. Do I go to tight end here? I could do Hawkinson or Laporta. I'm gonna go Laporta again. I like Laporta. I'll take him there. I'm gonna keep pushing running back because I don't want to reach up. It's not the range I want to take a running back. I'm not super confident in Caleb Johnson in this format, especially. So Laporta there for me is a fun way to play it. I could have gone Juwan Jennings. Slight fear on his cap situation, if that is a real thing or if it's just a contract thing. 10%, that's nice, Jim, that's huge. 15% in Best Ball Mania, that's crazy. Nice. Yeah, there you go. Hey, it only takes one team, right? So it's just fun that you have some exposure to him. I'll be drafting more of them. Oh, okay, I was way off. I was way off. I don't know what I was looking at then. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but Steve says 2, 4, 9, 7. So that divided by 17 would have been averaging 147 points a week. So that actually sounds much more in line with what it takes to win kind of all of these tournaments. So I'm not too surprised actually. That makes more sense. For some, maybe I did the averages wrong. Maybe he had a bunch of spike weeks that were in the 170s or 160s, and I was more focused in on like the 120 weeks or 130s. That's just it. Could have been me just misremembering. I guess I was looking at the marathon data. It must have been like a month or two ago, probably like 2 months ago at this rate. I haven't been drafting a whole lot of marathon since then, but that's a good data point. So that's something to keep in mind. We're trying to build a team that can score 145 points a week for 17 weeks, which sounds nearly impossible. You probably want to be pretty balanced, and you probably want to hit on some mid-round league winners right about now, right about this range. Man, running back really dried up. This is getting rough. On this one, I'm going to change it up. I am going to take Brian Robinson there, assuming he gets traded. He finds his way onto a team that's going to use him a little bit. I don't know what else to justify, how else to justify it there, but what I'll do is I'll take him. I really needed the running back help. Or maybe he just stays with the team and actually is who we thought he is. And this is all overblown Bill hype. But at the same time, do I venture to taking him and Bill on the same team? Bill at pick 100. Should I do it? I could do it. I need a running back, and otherwise, Dak is already gone, so I'm a little bit surprised there. Boom. Double tap, commanders, running backs. Who knows? Maybe they're not both commanders when the season starts. Ballsy. Feeling ballsy. Yeah, okay. He had like one bad week, but that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know, Hartman. It's tough for me to get there on the Steelers, and then Jalen Warren, he just 6 career touchdowns. That's like what you'd expect from Joe Mixon when he's healthy on a Sunday plus a Thursday night game. So Joe Mixon does 6 touchdowns in like 5 days, but Jalen Warren, it takes him 3 years. So I don't know. It's hard for me to get there. I go back and forth. Sacrilegious talked me into Jalen Warren for like a week, but I've fallen back out of favor. Ballsy. Taking all the commanders. Yeah, I had to do it to him. This is insane. Wait, Hartman, I haven't heard your take on it yet. Are you chasing Bill up? Or are you just saying it's insane because I took both Robinson and Bill and they're on the same team, so like they totally cannibalize each other's upside? I guess in this universe of the draft that I'm in, this team, I'm just gonna assume Robinson goes. He gets traded. He's on. I don't even know. I don't even know who he'd go to. I saw Herzig do the poll, or somebody did a poll of like where Robinson would end up, and the number one voted on spot was the Cowboys. I don't think that's likely. Why would they trade interdivisional? Like, I feel like that doesn't happen very often. It's prob it's probably probably Jalen Warren, but it easily could be Caleb Johnson, right? Oh, both that high? Yeah, because you think B-Rob should be falling and then, like, just JCM going later? I feel like with these marathons, for me, it's more of just shoot for straight upside, and I'm pretty much just firing from the hip, so if I thought about that last pick a little bit more, I might not have taken Ray Davis there, I might let him come back around, but either way, I'm gonna team stack Davis, who yeah, that's really early for Davis, it's whatever. I've got Josh Allen. I was gonna go QB, but all the QBs, like, no one that I wanted, so I'm gonna keep waiting for QB. What's up with Dallas Goedert getting injured? Groin injury for Dallas Goedert, that's, like, so upsetting. True, that's a good point, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm just playing it day to day, so, like, in this tournament, like the marathon, it's different, I'm not doing a whole lot of entries in this tournament, so I'm gonna do some bold takes, and I'm gonna draft whatever's current to the upside scenario that I could possibly achieve today. So what I'm hoping is in this universe, Brian Robinson is traded. Maybe he goes to the Cowboys. I don't know. Doubt it. And then his ADP could stay where it's at, but Bill would definitely jump up. Bill would be going in like the late 70s, early 80s, I think. It's crazy. It's kind of a fever dream of best ball summer. Like what is peak best ball summer insanity? It's taking Bill Krosky Merritt at pick 100. The way he hit that completely open gap, impressive. I need to figure out my QB2. I feel like I could keep pushing it because most of the teams in the draft. I mean, a lot of y'all are in here in the chat, so y'all are in here too. But like, a lot of the teams have two QBs. A few have one. I have a very obvious stacking partner. I might just have to pull the trigger sooner than later, but I do think it would help me to continue to hammer running back in this range, where there's a lot of like upside league winning type of potential. I would have really liked Braylon Allen on this team. Let me hit the refresh. Wow, that took forever to refresh. Kincaid or Goddard, who's actually injured right now, but both obvious. I'm gonna go Kincaid. That gives me my stack. Is there a running back I should be taking though? Quinshawn here, so risky. I'm gonna go Kincaid because the clear stack and upside of pairing with Josh Allen And then what it comes down to is I think I just prefer Tootin and Samson right now over Judkins. It's just so risky. The holdout, the not practicing, the no contract. There's too much going on there. It's really hard to figure out how to play Judkins. It's so much downside. And then again, I love Michael Penix. I like Bryce Young. Tua's totally fine. But I feel like I do pivot and take Cam Ward. Yeah, especially since Penix is gone and Tootin, then I'm gonna move on to Cam Ward here. I could have waited for later Stafford. It just seems like this is the right spot. Most likely a 2 quarterback build, and I could obviously stop with a 2 tight end as well. I kind of regretted not stopping at 2 tight end last time in the previous draft where I had even more capital. I think I had Laporta and Evan Ingram, and then I took Mason Taylor. Is that what I had? So in this one, Laporta and Kincaid stacked up with Josh Allen. Well, I spoke too soon because now I'm thinking ahead. If Okonkwo was there, I might like Okonkwo. So I'll keep it open. It's kind of a luxury pick if I do want that third tight end. But I definitely need to circle back to running back really soon. Through my first 13 picks, I have a 2-4-5-2 build. Josh Allen, Cam Ward, Jonathan Taylor. Then I waited forever. Brian Robinson Jr., Bill Krosky Merritt, Ray Davis. I have CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Debo Samuel, Luther Burden, Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid. So I could be a little stronger at wide receiver. I definitely could be stronger at running back. Let's play for upside. Let's see what we can do here. Draft healthy players at least because it's a marathon. You got to score 145 points a week starting in week 1, and there's no time for ramp up. So I want healthy players. I want to consolidate my bets with some team stacks. Figure out how I can do that now. I took Ford last second. I was gonna go Garendo. I was thinking about it for a minute. I almost went White. The White being slightly injured, and then the lower utilization for him with Bucky coming on. But I think White still has some floor as a pass catcher. Bucky was looking pretty good as a pass catcher in the preseason, I will admit. Maybe take a step forward in year 2. Garendo's back practicing, but with CMC healthy, he really gets a much less of a role this year. Ford to me was the pick there. Shout out to Jeff T. And then I like Shipley. I like Keaton. I like Dowdle. I don't like Wright. I'd rather go Marks or Ollie Gordon. Monangai is interesting. I'll probably take a receiver here. It looks like Okonkwo goes. The 3 tight end dream is dead. That's fine though. That's kind of what we planned for. Leggett with a year 2 step forward. I don't know. Wandale seems like a nice, and he's gone too. Okay, so let me get some Torrey Horton. Seems like a perfectly fine team to bring him in on. Because I'm looking at like a 2-6-8-2 build or a 2-7-7-2 build, and some of these running backs I like are bound to be there with my next pick. Horton would probably not come back around. He might in this format. People are slightly worried. I think he's dealing with a bit of an injury right now where he didn't practice today. He's got an ankle issue. It happened during the preseason game against the Chiefs on Friday. Doesn't seem serious, but they're getting him some rest. You don't love to see that. This deep in the draft, though, I want to go for upside, and I think that fits. Yo, what up, Clipper Nation? Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think the earliest I saw Bill go today. I mean, I just took him at pick 100 and 101 before this in a marathon. I think in the best ball manias today, he was going closer to 112. Okay, Hartman's back in. I'm glad. Yo, what up, Noel fan? Hey, thanks, my man. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for subbing. And hope, yeah, sounds like you're enjoying it. Hope we catch you in some drafts. You've been drafting some best ball teams, been doing some redraft. What are you cooking up? What are you getting into? This is the fourth draft of tonight. We've been ripping them. I mean, we did 2 best ball manias to start the stream, and then these 2 marathon drafts. There's like a promo right now on Underdog that we're kind of, some people are leaning into. I know Hartman and Steve are drafting and getting this promo. I'm doing a few marathons, but I'm getting deeper into it. I might as well go for the promo at this point, but we'll see. We'll see if I do 3 more marathons tomorrow. This will be my second one today. If you can do 5 marathons before tomorrow night, Wednesday at midnight Eastern, they give you a $15 Underdog credit. So it's essentially you buy 5, you get 1 free. I have Shipley still there. Same thing with Marks, Monagai. I'm gonna go Shipley. I don't know how this running back room's going to score enough points for me off the bat, though. Hopefully, Ford can cover. JT, obviously, the typical anchor. And then contingent guys like Shipley, Ray Davis. It's a thin bet for a marathon format. So I'm a little bit underwhelmed by the running back room. I'll try to make it up with some volume. The wide receivers do seem strong enough to get it done. Tight end seems strong enough. No doubt QB is good enough with Josh Allen. I don't think I want the third QB, but Sam Darnold's sitting right there. And Woody Marks leaves. I would have considered it. I might just take Sam Darnold here to increase my weekly floor, cover some more bye weeks, and then he correlates with my Horton pick I just made, which is more than nothing. So I'm pretty tempted to go Sam Darnold here. I think his bench risk is also very small. If for some reason Woody Marks was there, I probably would have gone Marks because of his early season upside, filling in for injured Joe Mixon, and then also the season-long upside that he just kind of holds down a role, and maybe it is a 3-headed backfield in Houston, but Marks, being a rookie, can kind of carve out more and more. So there's a lot of different upside scenarios there for Marks in this format, I think. Whereas in like typical drafts, I'm not super excited about Marks. If Mixon comes on the second half of the season, I think Marks has like very little value. So it'd be playing for the first half of the season, and that matters more in a marathon like this, but in a best ball mania would not count for as much. Yeah, I might as well go for it, Meg. Yeah, it's just about timing. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I don't know if I'll have time to draft 3 more marathons tomorrow, but what I could do is I could just enter them as slows and get it in that way. I'm really committed to not doing slows though, so I would hate to have to do that. Get that promo. Peanut Punch is going hard in these marathon streets. Ooh, Tesla goes. It's a fun pick. Let's see what AJ does with his last pick here at 207. Crum gets Noah Brown, Pierce, and Bryant. I really like the Pierce pick, especially now that he's actually practicing again. Dowdle seems nice there too at 180 for Dowdle. What a steal. Okay, I have a 3-6-6-2 build. I guess I call it with those running backs and just it's a prayer. Or do I stop with these wide receivers? Probably one more wide receiver. Probably. Aoman Orwent, I thought I saw. Yeah. Could be a Lockett team. I took Ray Ray. He was there. I forgot to look for him earlier on. I mean, he played a ton of slot snaps last season, one of the highest snap counts from the slot across the league. And then now Darnell Mooney's going to miss time. I haven't heard anything good about Darnell Mooney lately with his shoulder. Remains week to week. So in this situation, McLeod potentially and him and Penix have a connection, has some career year after another career year. So I'll build on that. I think it's fun. Throw him in there. I wasn't crazy about getting Lockett. I already had Ridley, so that is the team. It's a 3-6-7-2 with Josh Allen stacked with Kincaid. I have Cam Ward with Calvin Ridley, Sam Darnold with Torrey Horton. It's a JT. And then I got Brian Robinson, the faller of the week. I got Bill, the riser. Hopefully they're not in the same team in a week from now. Ray Davis, Jerome Ford, Will Shipley, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Debo, Luther Burden, Torrey Horton, and Ray Ray. So I have some veterans, some rookies, a nice mix of really powerful teams, high-scoring offenses with like the Commanders, Atlanta, the Rams, Dallas. Hopefully Stafford, can continue, but Garoppolo and Stetson Bennett aren't the worst backups to have either, but it's not ideal. Laporta, Kincaid, fun squad, bunch of bros in this draft with me. Yeah, Meg likes the Darnold pick. I thought, yep. I mean, I'm drafting off of Meg's ranks, so shout out to you for the suggestion. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Have a good night, everyone. We did it. We did 4 hours tonight. We drafted 4 teams, and I appreciate you all for subscribing, for liking. Don't forget to leave a comment and leave comments on any video to get an entry for a $25 Best Ball Mania giveaway when I hit 500 subs. Hopefully soon, but I'll catch y'all in another draft real soon. Thanks for being here. One last time, let's kick it to Bill, and then we'll close out the stream. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Super fun. Let's kick it to Bill.